Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Kari Mansion. I am going to keep this intro nice and short and to the point because this entire video is going to be a doozy. After putting it to you as to whether we should watch the 5.2 of Hunt of the Parenting, the response was overwhelmingly yes. So much my obligation and putting my foot in it, we are going to be checking out the 2.5-hour-long installment of what werewolves are all about. Not that because I'm a furry, not because I have a proclivity for monster effing or anything, but because I am morally interested in actually paying attention to what you guys want, and also genuinely interested in what lycanthropy goes on in Hunt of the Parenting. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. You wanted me to watch it, I am giving it to you, you're welcome. And I am going to avoid pausing as much as possible because this video is already going to be way longer than it has any right to be. And me pausing every 5 seconds to add some wittical anecdotes probably isn't going to be very beneficial. So unless I have something immensely illuminating to talk about or to question something, we're going to try and keep things verbatim. Okay, let's go. Here we go. 5.2. Hunter? God, I love that animation from 5.0.
Same shit, different day.
Bite your tone, labourers. So now.
Bite your tone, lemon.
Oh, what a nice old man. I certainly hope nothing bad happens to him. Also, word of warning, by the way, I've changed my setup recently, so if my tracking seems a bit weird, I'm still trying to figure out the little minutiae to things.
Processing the vampires are real.
Let me go. Oh no. Oh, if an old man lends you an ear, Simon.
So, forewarning for those who may not be aware what this episode is, this is one of those episodes where it's pretty much 98% exposition, I'm assuming.
Guy was a saint.
You'd be surprised. He made many enemies. Vaticu's family was amongst the most skilled hunters in England.
Shut the mistakes right from the start.
God, there she is!
Was never a vampire!
Lycanthropy.
God, she tears out that maid outfit like I tear out of my clothes when I want to get rid of the autistic sensation of clothing against my skin.
We got a right going, girls. Let's twink step through now.
Oh no, they yoinked the twink! Yep, this is a lore episode. I do wonder how many intermediate episodes they're going to make before they make 6.0.
Come on! We're books!
Knowledge!
We don't know where it took Marcus.
No.
We don't know.
Run.
We don't know. Yes. Fill the pressure
they
washer
must-
with
they must
colloidal
be.
silver.
Feeling absolutely distraught. It's not a surprise that they're going to spend some time talking about what they saw. Like them dealing with what they thought was a vampire, only for it then to be turned out something entirely different. It throws everything on its side. But I did call it. I'm just saying.
Soup.
That's not soup. That's just soap. That's soap. Soap.
Not exactly as good as my Ipswich ham. Son-in-law, find anything?
No! Nothing!
And of course, Kitten's going to be the most distraught. That was his
we
boyfriend.
Join the
Their
others?
boyfriend? His
Not
boyfriend.
yet.
Their boyfriend.
How much longer then?
Yet!
Nico, thank you so much for the 20 bones. Thank
I feel
you.
like I'm about to fall into space and die.
Oh,
Distress
kitten.
gremlins conquer your heart. I could not relate more. I feel like I could turn into viscous goo and float down a drain.
Hey, I relate to that
But that will
accusation.
not help
I am viscous
Marcus.
goo.
Will it?
I need to find something. I need to find anything. I need to find
He
him.
can't. Not yet.
It's all blur.
Yes. Ugh. The soup
D!
won't
That
help
does
matters.
not look
Need
like
to know
soup to me. It
more.
looks like soap.
How we can find
Dishwater
him?
soup.
I keep trying to replay things in my head, think of stuff I might have missed, but it's also damn foggy. I can't even.
That is the delirium. The effect a werewolf has on the brain of prey.
Fantastic. Add lycanthrope
Funny,
fucking
it's the-
psychomancy
It's
to
the
the
effect
pile
I
of
have on
bloody
people
yourself,
who I
son-in-law.
consider to be,
So the
Prey.
something.
Son-in-law,
confuddlement, if you will.
I can breathe when Marcus is back. Tell me what you know.
I know the werewolf wanted the data. It took Marcus as a hostage, likely because it still wants.
The werewolf wanting the data sounds like a very witty analogy for the furry fandom, given how many data scientists there are in the furry fandom. Let's not even pretend like we don't know that the entirety of the of Western culture is held up by furry data scientists. And if a plane filled with furries go down on the way to their furry convention, we will get sent back to the dark ages of technology.
The data.
Why would it even want the data? Who's hunting bloody werewolves in Norfolk?
With the data destroyed, there's no way of knowing.
Well, does the wolf know it was destroyed?
A safe assumption, given it was shot out of its very claws.
Well, then what was it expecting to get out of a hostage? It should not.
I have a sneaking sensation that taking Marcus as a hostage has more of a cadence towards them knowing what Marcus's connection is. Like, we all know that Marcus has a connection to this otherworldly void realm. And I think they know that. I think that it was a second best result, as it were. If you can't get the data, get the creature that has connections to the void that really no one else should.
Oh, he doesn't know anything.
Our investigation is why its cover was blown. From its perspective, the assumption that we know something is not unreasonable.
Know what, though? Does it want details on some particular hunter?
Whatever the wolf wanted out of that data,
That does
it
beg
is
the question.
not getting out of Marcus. Nor us, nor the Arcanum.
Okay, maybe a degenerate thought process, but in one reality, I want to believe that there's a multiverse where rather than Marcus being captured and tortured, Marcus has just ended up in a wolf hay room and is surrounded by wolf bitches, and he's living his best life. I mean, you don't know where he got sent to. Who knows what he's getting up to? It would be very funny, though.
And if it realizes we don't have that info,
Thank you, Nico. Have a good one.
we have to rescue Marcus. We have to do something.
And we will, son-in-law. But this is a foe you cannot fight with boldness
I'm
and...
going to make a comment as well about animation stuff, because I saw somebody making a comment about the animation. So, in these exposition-heavy episodes, the focus is not the animation. In 5.0 and the story-heavy episodes that pertain to advancing the story, they focus more on the animation for the sake of demonstration and performativeness. In an episode like this, where it's all about exposition and narrative embiggening, there's no point animating that kind of stuff too heavily, because you're not really focusing on it. This is all about learning. So it's done in more like a presentation as such.
strength
Just so you know.
alone. Right now, we must prepare. And we must await the detestable coalition so we can pry whatever aid we can from their bureaucratic jaw.
But there's got to be something more you can share.
I have traversed this world from the peaks of the Urgius to the dark depths of Newark, New Jersey. I have hunted every quarry you can name that dwells upon this earth. Yet even I cannot claim to understand this world in totality. I have merely...
I mean, the way that
Don't
D
mince
reacted
words.
to seeing
What
the
are you getting
Lycan
at, D?
was probably the most serious I've ever seen him.
whilst
And you know when
publishing
D's
within the
taking it
occult,
seriously, that it
my
must
primary
be big and
view
serious.
was vampiric under-societies. Sure, a dalliance
Big
from the
D
hunting
knows
habits
when
of the
there's a big
cockatrice there.
dilemma.
How best to navigate the Davis Strait without falling into the Ganunaganapp. My point is, with
My
regards
point
to werewolves, my knowledge is dramatic.
You know, as I've been doing my vocal training, I'm finding that getting D's cadence is getting easier.
My point is.
Really in the back of the throat kind of thing.
My point is. Yeah, indeed. It's not about sounding like Alucard, no. It's more about projection.
More limited. I have what I can glean from my travels, and word of mouth from those who know better. And so it is a shame that the prodigious vault that was Lord
I always
Vernon
feel like me
Vatican's
being
brain
British
was
is like a
lost to us.
perfect
For this
perfect
subject
match for Hands of Parenting.
knew
You know,
more than I, like
Brother
you
Ralph
ever
Booster, if you ever see my reactionary stuff, I am a voice actor,
But I
so
don't
if you ever
want to
need,
wait.
if you ever need
to
a
do
bit of a
something
dulcet tone,
now.
maybe a
There-
softer, feminine voice.
There has
Or maybe
to be
some deeper
more
tones.
that you know.
I'm here for you.
Son-in-law,
Yes,
unless you
yes,
believe my
indeed.
scattershot understanding of sapphic Hellenist dog women wolf warriors upon the Isle of Lesbos could be of use in our current situation, am I
The Isle of Lesbos? Now, I know that's probably like an actual Latin name, but now all I can picture in my mind is an entire island of lesbian wolves. You're a lesbo, mate. You're a lesbo werewolf.
my well of useful information runs exceedingly dry?
Of course, our werewolf expert has the meter's end coming to know one final wolf.
That is likely the very reason why he got. Perhaps he was onto her. Or maybe she had plans to kill him from the beginning, given his ancestry is marred in lichen blood.
How is an ancestry of werewolf killers even possible? Those things seem bloody unstoppable.
Alas, that
It almost
secret
like
has
as part
gone
of the
to
plot, as a
grave
part
with
of the
him.
plot point, they're gonna have to figure out their weakness or something. Storytelling.
Knowledge-soaked think pan. Fortunately, long ago,
Fortunately.
mankind catalyzed an invention that could lend us some of his knowledge, even now.
What I realize about Dee's voice, like I love, like in terms of voice acting, I love finding voices to do. Dee, of all of the voices, is one of the most poignant examples of voice acting in terms of exemplifying certain inflections. All of the other characters are very, I wouldn't say monotone, but very linear with the way they talk. Certain, only minor inflections, minor deflections, that kind of thing from their voice. Dee is all about exacerbating certain words. Yes, as much as I have a tism for overly explaining animation because I'm an animator, I can also do the same thing for voice acting.
Fortunately, long ago, mankind catalyzed an invention that could lend us some of his knowledge, even now.
Really?
Yes, books.
Books!
I thought. Oh, whatever.
Not
Finding the correct.
Yo,
you guys, I'm out here in my garage with my Lamborghini. But you know what I like more than Lamborghinis? Knowledge.
Correct ones in these ruins. Books litter the place like leaves across the mighty Pando's
funny
forest
story, I've
floor.
actually been getting some voice roles recently. Not that I'm allowed to show you them, because
Amanda.
NDA.
How are Grimmel and the others doing?
Grimmel is
This is a bucket.
stable. The rest looked bad. Shot full of bathroom wall. And Git's hand,
I'm actually kind of glad, like, when we were introduced to these characters, I was a bit speculative of her, but the way she acted, I almost with 90% surety was sure the villain in this instance was not her. My biggest speculation was it was the other maid, the one that was the bad guy, or the doctory person. Amanda.
You done with the food?
Fucking whatever her name
I
is.
need to wash the dishes.
Certainly.
None of you finished it?
Is this soup cilantro, coriander, monoisopropanolamine base?
No, it's not. It's not supposed to be soup.
No MSG then.
It's
As I
soap. It's
suspected.
dishwater.
Oh. Why do the contents of your mop bucket look like cheese?
Oh,
Sir.
A moment! Young lady, Why are you making soap soup and cleaning tables with Gargou's patented cheese sauce?
Reality is not what it once was.
Amanda Burgermart, was it?
Sir.
That is a name, and I guess it's mine.
You were acquainted with the one known as Matilda, yes?
We were friends. I thought. But then she did what she did, and
I guess that really begs
I-
the question, like,
I-
whatever
I feel like
action
shit
this
for what she did to
lycanthropy
you.
is part of must be really
feel-
subversive if even her best friend hadn't
I feel
noticed.
culpable.
But that then,
Why don't you
that then spins into question: is she really that innocent? How could she really not have been able to tell? Was the supplantation really that deep-seated that it was that easy to go into her nose? It must have been really what's the word? Subversive? No. I mean, I guess subversive. The ploy must have been very well done if even she couldn't tell, being her friend.
Join us for a while.
Sir.
Oh, sure. Anything to not be alone with the constant death anxiety.
A common state of mind for a beginner.
Beginner? Are there advanced states of death anxiety?
Far more than you currently fathom.
Amanda, are you sure that you don't want to go home? You really shouldn't stay.
Go home. After that nightmare? I really don't want to be alone.
Yeah, that's called the adrenaline wearing off.
Goodness gracious. I understand. Please just help out as best you can.
Thank you. You really are nice.
We're looking for books written by Fatigue. And, Miss Bergamot, you get to look off in that corner.
Yes, I'll do my best, sir.
Oh yes, fly.
Oi, what's all this? Where are the flies coming from?
The cheese.
There's a lot of flies in here. In December?
I mean, there's been a lot of meat hanging around.
Sorry, this place has got a fly problem. Usually in the
They
summertime.
must have been awoken by that pungent 99p cheese. Much like Marky so often is.
Oh, fuck.
Wow! Steady there, recruit! You knocked down our entire cheese reserve!
This whole dude, in the last week, we've had such a correlation of cheese causality. Like this last week, I have had to deal with more cheese epidemics than I have in the last 2 years. And the fact that the amount of cheese conundrums I've had to deal with has been more than 2 is concerning to say the least.
Oh, I knocked on the bucket. It's all over the carpet. Oh, of course.
Wait.
No good deed goes unpunished.
Look at the cheese!
Sir, we don't have time for cheese gazing.
I'm starting to see why this
What the-
episode is 2.5
cheese.
hours long.
The grease balls.
They're pointing?
Oh God, what is going on?
A perfectly shaped cheese arrow! Cool.
Okay, so now I'm starting to speculate. I wonder if Marcus getting tugged into the other realm is not so much a realm, but a different phase of reality. And maybe Marcus is like doing this from the other side, maybe?
Coincidence does
Oh,
not
there's a
exist
ghost.
this night. And see where the arrow points.
Oh, God,
It's pointing towards the wall?
Thank you, Sentinel.
maybe a
We'll be doing Doki Doki
hollow
later, yes.
wall? Those exist here and there. Well, I mean, why would the cheese do that? Like why?
Why wouldn't
check.
the cheese do that? Are you cheesist?
It is hollow.
Come on, vampires, werewolves.
Who's got a sledgehammer? Time to do a bit of
brave new
impromptu
world.
renovation.
Indeed. Braveness must be your way.
I do not feel like I am in the real world.
Miss Bergamot, that you aren't in a cheese-induced psychosis speaks to your potential.
Do you know how to open this, Amanda?
Why is everyone putting so much weight behind the cheese?
Honestly.
Do not fear, for I know. Let me reveal to you its mechanism.
Punch it. Punch it. Punch it. Punch it. Oh, just use your head. That's called using your head.
Whatever, I don't care. I'll check inside.
This is almost becoming one of those like point and click adventure games. You guys know the ones, right? Like Monkey Island, where you point and click to like inspect places. Ah, the wall appears to be hollow. It's a shame I don't have a sledgehammer in my inventory. Fear not, son-in-law, for I am the sledgehammer. Hard that the wall. Boom.
There's boxes and books. Books!
Books!
Come on, get your
Books related to cheese!
Oh, come on! All of them have nondescript labels! Fuck!
I recognize this one.
I wonder what Gray is going to think about them punching a hole in his wall.
This is mine.
What? What is it?
It's
Gimme!
easy, son-in-law. It won't help us here.
No, my extensive list of hentais that I've been watching. Ah!
A research compilation on the Norfolk tunnels.
Now you know how I discovered Kevin's pack. But it's just a sandwich thesis. And it's certainly no botany.
Do you guys see that too? Guys, help me. Do you see the weird pygmy as well, or am I tripping? Did I huff the cheese? I think the cheese fumes are getting to me.
Everyone! Your desperation has summoned me! I'm here to help!
Not now, Togo! Get the fuck out! Fuck off! Jesus, Togo!
Who's Togo?
Fuck!
What? Explain!
Why would they take that in specific?
I don't know. But I'll be taking it back.
What does that stamp say?
Continental! Confidential.
Its classification is signed off
Well,
by
literacy
Ockham
has never
and
been Dee's
Reynolds,
strong point.
only to be read by those with elder access except...
Special access privilege for representatives of the Newberg Group, G. Contoret, Grandad Foodstuff Ltd, and the Society of St. Leopold? This is a coalition stash!
So, its info's deemed valuable enough to be classified under coalition ordinance? There's gotta be something in here!
Ooh, possibly.
Granddad's foodstuffs. What? What? Like the guys who make Garou shit?
I want to point out, by the way, I have a
No
bunch of people in my
idea
Twitch
why
chat
they
right now who have never seen this series before.
This is
So to them, this must be so
Jeez.
bizarre.
Did the cheese know?
Worry not, child. Cheese is generally
All you have to know, this is an amazing series by the same people who made Emperor's
They
Text to
kept
Speech.
something I wrote too!
What is it, son-in-law?
And this is
treatise.
an information-heavy episode
It's focused on the Black Shuck
expositioning about
and similar local legends.
werewolves.
Yes, you told me of the Black Shuck. That being stored here has ominous connotations. Better you take that too.
Oh, this is not the original.
No?
It's a scan. And... does it ever bloody end?
No.
They've blacked out everything I wrote on the White Shuck.
What?
Wow, so you mean it's got as much censoring as the Epstein files? It's a shame this took place in 2009? 2006? 2009? Either way, AI hadn't been invented to declassify that shit yet.
White Shuck, you say?
It's a related local legend, just like, just kind of an uninspired knockoff of the Black Shuck as far as I knew, but I don't know, whatever, irrelevant. I found something else.
Video
Partake
cassettes!
Lycan Records.
Lycan! This is something!
Lycan is werewolf, yeah?
Yeah!
It has the same
Lycanthropy.
classified stamp, but look. It's only signed off by Occam and Fatigue.
Fatigue must have been involved. This is it! We'll crack it open!
Do ghosts exist as well, guys?
Yes, and what you're thinking could be true.
There's a ghost
Fatigue
pointing
might
you in
be
a
aiding
cheesy
us
fashion.
Even now.
Oh boy. I'm so
Dude, it's
sorry,
not
man.
bad enough that I live in an old
You're
house that creaks when I go to bed.
so good.
I don't even believe in ghosts, but the second I hear a
Too
creak
good.
in my house when I'm trying to sleep, it keeps me awake at night.
This is indeed it! Fatigue's collated work on lycanthropy!
There is also this phonograph. And let's see here.
Oh, wait. What if the ghost that's pointing them in the right direction is the ghost of Fatigue? Because Fatigue would know where the shit was, right? And Fatigue is dead. Fatigue could be incorporeally a ghost, pointing them in the direction using the trees!
Are those vinyls?
Even older.
If Fatigue's really out to help
Wax
us here,
cylinders.
let's let him.
Agreed. I'll start it up.
Here we go. So, welcome, my boy. As I hopefully told you when we interred these old things, I should no longer be with you as you're listening to this. So, if you're hearing me...
So he knew he was gonna die? Ooh, the plot thickens again.
Yammer on while I'm sitting right as rain in the other room, I'd ask you rather shift off and grab me a cuppa, young mister. But it falls as it should be. Bit, interesting recording on one of these things again. Did it for a bit of, consistency, I suppose. Rest of these records will be from my youth. Captured doing some field work. Field work on the wolves, as you might figure. The story from the
I
Philippines.
just find it immensely good storytelling. The fact they gave us this red herring. They were setting up our expectations for this to have, for the whole thing to be revolving around vampires and the ghouls, because it'd been everything that we'd led up to. And keep in consideration as well, the vampire situation is still very much there. The lycanthropy could very well be part of that, I feel. But it's also a new element in its entirety. Maybe the werewolves and vampires have put aside their centuries-old feud and working together. Maybe. Maybe, because it would make sense, right? Because the endeavor was that they knew that the vampire court were still trying to get their stuff. But the fact a werewolf did it, if the werewolves were trying to act of their own accord, why would they want that stuff? There's really only one explanation, is that they're probably working together in some sense. Because no one else really has a motive for getting that data, from what I remember. Unless there's something we're not seeing, which we find out in a later episode. But that's my speculation right now.
With your granddad, my father, the werewolf child kidnapper. All kept here, both for posterity and as an explanation for you, Chancellor. Best Chancellor this house has ever had, and don't you doubt it. I know your granddad told you some things before you took up his mantle and all, about my family and about the Lycans. Maybe those things complicated our friendship a bit, but he did not tell you the full story. And
Oh.
And so have our Lord Teo Granddad before you. After listening to all of these records in order, well, know that I do not expect you to forgive me. Nor will these records proceed to excuse
There's so many
anything.
overlapping, like,
For 50
elements
years
happening
I
here.
betrayed the Arcanum.
it's compelling.
Lying to you has been the hardest part. This is the final act of
I wonder why he would
penance.
lie, though, and about what?
The last tile what needs cleaning. It will no doubt upset you, and I ask for no forgiveness. I just ask for understanding. You, of anyone who might listen to this,
Given that he's the oldest member of the... was the oldest member, I feel like there must be a reason for it, so... if the rationale is, like, for the greater... I feel like the rationale must be for, like, a for the greater good kind of thing.
I believe will.
Should we be listening to these?
Not only should we, but we must. A hunter's path is not paved by respect for privacy.
Go to bed, you. Please.
Ain't
do
that
not
true, especially
press.
with the way these guys act. I'm starting to see
Failed to
why
heed
they
the
got
lesson
kicked out
that
of the,
esteemed musical philosopher Ray Erskine Parker Jr. taught
Abbey.
a generation. Repeat after me. I ain't afraid of no ghost.
I ain't
I ain't afraid no ghost.
Louder.
When there's something strange and it don't look good,
Excellent.
who are you gonna call?
We'll have to work more on your projection.
All right, quiet. I'm going to put in the first record of the bunch now. It's labeled Expedition Beginnings.
There you go. Alright, here we go. Good
Oh
day to you on
god,
the radio, audience.
dude, young thingy looks kind of cute. Not gonna lie.
I come to you from the jungle mountains of the Philippines, specifically
That's yes, thank you.
what
Name
was it again?
ADHD makes it hard for me to remember names.
Taga-Aminhan Mountains. Sorry.
The Taganaman Mountains.
Of course.
It is February 13th, 1921. Speaking is Werner Fatigue, proudly representing the Fatigue Arcanum Scientific Expedition. With me, I have,
I'm sorry. Does anyone else find it slightly hilarious that the what's the word? The name for it? The way you take the first letter of each not synonym. The short form is face. It's face. FASE. The face.
with me, I have, would you introduce yourself, dear?
Of course, sir.
Acronym. Yes, thank you. That's the word.
I am Makupo. Good day.
Quite so. For a bit of the old normalcy, we just like to call her Mrs. Mark. Like the biblical figure, but female. And from the Orient.
That's problematic.
Sir.
Mrs. Mark is our guide out here in the rugged rocks of the mountain jungle. With us too is my Lord Father and head of the expedition. I tell you, boy, that devil's
like father, like son.
your brain. Nowhere in King James's Bible does it say voices were to be captured like such. I say, Lord Father, this is a clean Protestant invention. Now, please.
I mean, it's interesting to get a glimpse into the old generation, the prior generations hunters.
President, expedition lead, and foremost authority on
And it's interesting as well the fact that it was much more religiously undertoned back then, as opposed to now where it's a bit more loosey goosey with things.
lycanthropy. And should the devil and Judas and Grungus and Genghis Khan listen from this contraption, then hear me well. We come with shovel in one hand, Bible in the other, and sword clenched firmly in our mouths. We explore and we conquer this uncharted land in Emperor George's blessed name.
He's definitely the kind of person that calls the help by the hard N-word. We know.
Damned be the insurrectionists, the Spaniards, and the tribesmen who would get in our way. A marvel you are, Lord Father. The Fatigue Arcanum Scientific Expedition shall explore, chart, and excavate the storm-laden mountains of what was this province's name again?
Barotac Viejo, sir. sir.
Partake Viejo, yes. For here, mystery and intrigue is afoot.
Hey, Kobold.
Mrs. Mark, our guide, a poor mother from the local community, faced a startling reality only a few months ago. Would you please tell our audience of your plight?
Of course, sir. My daughter was taken.
And what might have become of her?
She was taken.
By a
By a
kidnapping
monster.
werewolf.
A monster. Do you hear, folks?
Dog. But with slouching skin. And a man's hands.
I wonder if that's maybe more connotations of a skinwalker. I mean, in terms of like cryptids, skinwalkers and werewolves kind of go hand in hand. So I wouldn't even fault somebody for mistaking the two.
Vanished without a trace. First there and then gone. It took my daughter.
A staggering number of reports have come from the autonomous Filipino colony since its establishment by Baron Cockambupois in 1919. This, then, has affected the local communities in such horrid ways. The expedition we are taking will seek to know these lichens, and in turn, it is the hope of us all that our work will prevent any more tragic vanishings.
Vernon, my lad, let yourself not underestimate the mountains, nor the lichen's demonic humus disease. The depths of their evil can scarcely be understood. The knowledge you might...
But with your pompous British attitude, I can barely understand a word you're saying behind that moustache. Why don't... You know what? I have a question for you, sir old person. If I go past go, do I collect $200? Yes, I know who they based the Monopoly Man on. No, do not pass go. Do not collect £200.
instead come across, my son, is an understanding of your own change as you go from boy to so much more.
Yes.
In the words of Ace Ventura, and you must be the Monopoly guy.
Incline steep, tribe savage, lycanthrope savager. This might end up rougher than the territory purchasing Greenland. At least Greenland was flat. You were not there for that one, but let me tell you, I whipped it out of...
Sir, you whipped out your gun, right? You whipped out your gun. Oh, who am I kidding? Yes, we are, Draco.
Seems, we have some errant gunfire ongoing.
Oh no, what's going on? Pascal! Oh, your brother's...
Oh my god, is that Pedro Pascal?
Jesus Christ holds over your cowardice!
Oh no, the jungle folk attacking us!
The jungle folk don't have bloody guns, Claude!
Was it Lilicor?
Lilicors don't have bloody guns, Claude!
I mean, werewolves that could figure out how to use their opposable thumbs to wield weapons truly would be heavy.
Such weak guns. Are my lord uncles on the breath? Oh, how brave child, to worry so for your family. I will allow you some comfort. These insurrectionists are poor, barely armed. Driven
It's
out
not?
into the fringes by the Americans, no doubt. And unlike Goomba and the other Leopoldites, they don't have...
Hi, Locrin. Hi, Chunky.
That was all that. They got us well.
Monsieur Fatigueux, Warzone is no place for an arcanist.
Pascal, you descend from the stock of Vercingetorix! Do not shame your family name with this weak mewling! Be more like your brother back home! Be more like my word! Your arcanum syllabus was meant to be broken by the likes of its leadership. Pray, animal that you so resemble, perhaps the lamb should concern itself more for the wolf in the bushes!
Right here, right now?
On this jungle safari, are you a predator or prey?
Never trust this man to give a rousing speech to increase morale. Everyone would end up discerning the ranks.
You must decide
Dissenting
here
in the
now,
ranks.
my boy. Right here and now! You're a medium, are you not, Pascal? Use your gifts. Taste the air.
Oh, very well.
What a pussy.
Oh, shit on my frog.
You taste it, do you not?
I taste.
I taste my fear.
Corn taste. No, not corn, not corn. Bones. Bones?
Ah, yes, because bones and corn are very eerily similar.
Yes, bones. Favored treat of hound and wolf alike. We've just entered Lycan territory, lads. Well then, yes, Lord Ford, put away that sacred
Typical Brit. Pull out the knife at any possible opportunity. Oh, we've entered Larkin territory. Pull out the old shiver. I'm gonna give you a good shanking, werewolf or no.
The Oculus Imperion.
You know it?
Yeah, Marcus went looking for it in the archives, while we went for the guns.
What?
I don't know if he found it.
Oh,
Talk
that's
more on that
right.
later.
Wait,
now then.
wait. What if Marcus making use of the Oculus was the reason they stole him? Like the whole philosophy of if you stare into the void stares back. Now that he gained the unyieldy foresight, that would give anyone who had access to that power a great deal of leverage and sort of like subversive capabilities. So maybe they stole him knowing he had access to that power as a sort of compromise.
The guide.
A werewolf took her child away.
Just as one took mine.
We
Oh, that's right.
need the details. Before we put in the next one, let me check the book right quick.
As wise as ever.
Or maybe it's just a simple case of child
It's a bit
thievery.
hard to pass. It's written by an academic for other academics. Not exactly a trade book.
Well, we too are scholars. Are we not, son-in-law?
Are you going with a more democratized, unemployed definition of scholar?
You know I don't define words.
Yeah, words. What do they even mean? Words are just words. 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 They are certainly some words. Those are certainly words, and they are definitely some of them.
Just say them. Now, let us decipher these articles into plain language. You choose the language, and I'll choose the syntax.
Right. Just gotta check for...
What are you checking for?
Basic methodology. Where is it? I don't want a full word right now. Oh, there. Basics of how lycanthropy is researched. The Fatigus dabbled in ancient and contemporary
Yo, got
archaeology.
mummy thighs. Thank you for the follow.
Quite a lot. Nothing a singular scholar can cover. The field is too broad. Anthropology, archaeology, critical historiography, language. You know how it goes.
It's like how with Latin you put us at the end of every at the end of every word, and it makes it sound more Latin. Sanctus Dominus Exterminatus. Yeah, put Rafi at the end of a word, and it suddenly sounds more cinematography-ified. Yeah.
No, not really.
The research of werewolves in particular is unique in that it demands immense care to not, die. Respect for the land, respect for territory, and given the opportunity, making deals with the werewolves are required to learn of their ways?
Wait, making deals with the
what?
werewolves?
A very risky and dangerous thing, that.
Oh, you'll not have to convince me. Otherwise, I do not get the impression Fatigue the Elder has a particular respect for the land here.
We have
1920s British moment. The whims of colonialism were still fresh in their minds. Oh, this land? Why, yes, it is. It was and still technically is ours. We do not need to respect what is ours, even though it's technically where you live.
had it long enough. Let us reverse the record and behold what is on the other side. Yep.
it's about... Oh, it's late at night on the expedition. Pascal, the old chap, wants me to try something.
This is an ancient Sanskrit.
You guys remember when when your PlayStation games used to come with multiple CDs for a single game?
I made some for you.
Same feel.
Right? Quite pungent, this liquid.
Don't smell it. Don't smell it. Just drink it in one gulp.
Righto.
In
Bottoms
one
up.
gulp? If you cannot tell, I am outlandishly French.
Let's piss, you froggy bastard!
Trust the French to piss around.
You have been tricked by the great Pascal. It's so good for you.
Oh, how dare you!
Is this what the youth were doing before video games?
Who is this Pascal Piss guy?
Rimmeld's father, believe it or not. Clearly he was substantially less rigid in his youth. I certainly don't remember him as a prankster.
Obsessive compulsive symptoms.
Boys will be lads, I suppose. Anyway, come now.
You can't
We must
just
sample
validate
the next
everything by saying
record.
boys will be Did man just taste that record like a donut? Just cause looked like donut doesn't mean edible like donut.
Resinula. This one is labeled Finding One. The Warriors.
I fucking love how
Or maybe
spontaneous
Finding
D is.
We'll find out when it comes to finding.
Dearest audience, we report to you at the scene of what we in the Partake Arcanum scientific expedition believe to be the discovery of the decade in the field of lycanthropic studies.
You overstate where no.
Oh, fie, Pascal. Unbeliever you. At any rate, we have found clear signs
D
of
is very
lycan
much the kind of
habitation.
person
For
who
one,
embodies the term intrusive thought. Just like me! I get an intrusive thought and it's no longer intrusive. I just do it and say it.
As you might recall,
And you.
animals not native
Just
to
like
these
that.
lands. Primarily, tracks spanning highly sophisticated trails around the mountain. In addition, one area stuck out as being unnaturally vandalized. The jungle floor rid with circles of paw prints and patterns that look almost ritualistic. A duel for
What?
dominance or
Rituals
territory,
being
perhaps?
involved with lycanthropy?
Violence as
Who could have
ritual
seen
seems
that coming?
nevertheless an important part of their culture. For two,
You know what? I know I made the reference in the last episode, but this would have all been solved if you would have called on the Doomslayer.
Or Alucard. I'm just saying, you would have called me in and this would have been solved in Toot Sweet. These damn lycanthropes would have paid no heed to the kind of forte I would have brought.
we have discovered scant hieroglyphs in one location. We could not translate them, but they bore clear provenance with hieroglyphs found in sites across England, Greenland, the Congo, and even Belgium.
Hi, Kilia.
These savage hieroglyphs have been painted by hand, or likely even by claw. Now,
That is...
my
yeah.
friend, Pascal Beaupois,
Yes.
joins me as a representative of the Arcanum's Filipino colony.
Yes,
The Arcanum's Filipino colony. Pascal
You
is
good,
originally
Pascal?
from the Kingdom of Belgium.
You get that, buddy?
And is next in line to be Chancellor for the Great Yarmouth Arcanum Chapter House.
Yes. Yes, that is yes.
Dude, Pascal's coming across like a very
Pascal here is
parasocial
also a
individual.
With the evolved sense of
A bit
taste
of
that
a
he
trickster.
has, that makes him able to perceive the tang of the supernatural. Meet him, Whitmore like. Oh, that's a good one, isn't it, Pascal?
I mean, I laugh.
Pascal, you licked one of these here rocks.
Well,
Could you tell us what that was like?
why, yes.
No,
I
Boy
didn't,
Splatty, I've already promised that in the next D&D campaign that I go into, I'm gonna play Guy Chapman.
Like, too much.
Funny story, I had a D&D session last night, technically, and I revealed to my team that I was gonna be, that if and when we do another campaign, I would play Guy Chapman. Unfortunately, no one in the group has seen Hunt of the Parenting, so it didn't really come across as funny. So really, that's actually better for me, because it means that when I do come across and do that, they're not ready for the unhinged sociopathy that I will be performing.
Pineapple, the test bites back, so to say. These are fighters, or warriors.
A warrior culture, then.
Without doubt.
Fascinating. Werner, it was you that found these trails, no? Well, with a bit of help from the Oculus. The soul submerged in the melancholic Arcanus.
I feel as though they're probably going to learn as much about the Oculus from these readings as they are about the werewolves. These are the two big questions we have.
Excuse me, sir. We must keep moving.
You heard the Philippines? Oh no, you people prefer.
You know, a second ago when I said that this person's the kind of person that uses the hard N-word? Yeah! Figured as much! Racist fucking bastard.
Philippinite, yes?
Actually, sir.
No matter. Back it up, everyone! Adventure awaits!
Adventure awaits!
Hold on, let me check the book again.
What's melancholic, canis?
Humoral theory.
There's, talk on lycanthropy as pathology from the Middle Ages into the Renaissance. Nonsense. Lycanthropy in particular is said to manifest in those with a melancholic imbalance in their humors.
And something to know is that humors is not a derivative of somebody's ability to find something funny. Humors is actually a terminology used in anthropology and physiology for the things that lie within. Bet you didn't know that I knew that.
It was their ways of explaining, or in many cases vilifying, certain mental conditions. They were many times viewed and treated in a fashion similar to witches. Seems even into the 1900s, this still carried some weight for the likes of the Fatigues.
And could it have any truth to it?
Let's check. I broke out my old humor extractor.
Yeah, probably not. I found out I was
just his pump gun from when they were dealing with the dogs in that one episode.
looking for, by the way. Warriors of Gaia, basics of Garou culture. What does he mean, Garou?
Because that's what they call themselves. Traditionally, they are known as Garou.
Loup Garou or Loup Garou is French for werewolf. What, are the werewolves French?
Does the book say they are?
Oh, darling, I would have you know that the French are known for many a thing. Not just the canid variety of creatures that come from our country. No. They're also known for our outrageous amounts of cheeses and also our great personalities, darling. No, anything but the French.
Non, Buffiston. As far as I'm aware, werewolves have no special connection to France. But for reasons unknown to me, that is the name traditional werewolf culture has gifted to these fearsome warriors of Gaia.
Who's Gaia?
In Greek mythology, Gaia is the primordial mother figure and avatar of the earth itself.
You want to know what my first experience of Gaia was? Gaia Online. Who else is a millennial? Who else feels their back creak at the sight of this? Who else is feeling the slow stains of time slowly wash upon them in an existential fashion? Because it can't just be me!
What? Are werewolves Hellenists?
On Buffiston! You'll not find many Elder Garou paying homage to Zeus, Mars, or the sacred Vestal Flames. Gaia, however, yes, they do indeed worship her, as do many others.
It is World of Darkness Monday.
See, Gaia is the name given to the conceptualization of a world spirit in much of the West. But the concept is in no way unique to the Greek pantheon. What we call Gaia here has many names in many different cultures. In either case, these faiths are mostly animist in nature, with everything. And I mean everything having a spirit.
And is that true?
Everything has a ghost.
Funnily enough, that's also the very similar concept that the Japanese spiritualists connotate towards everything pertaining the soul of something. You notice that in like Pokemon, there's a lot of Pokemon that are basically just items, you know, Trubbish, the ones that are basically keys. It's the denotation that anything that is cherished, anything that is loved, and anything that has been perceived the human touch gains the soul and the energies of the person who it comes in contact with. It's a similar kind of concept, and it kind of pertains to a lot of parallels in how different societies and different religions, social norms, pertain the worth and value of something given to it by the energies given by the person and people of that society. Yeah, I can be smart sometimes.
This book, your cap, the concept of communication, the number 34, and Great Yarmouth herself. All of them, allegedly, have spirits.
Kidding me? God, this will not help with my object sympathy.
Do you feel bad for your trash when you throw it away?
Well, you know. When my milk goes bad, I know it is not it that has failed.
Yeah, just, I know that feeling.
We gotta move on.
Yeah.
According to the book, Garou culture is a warrior survivalist culture. Their entire existence is framed around the notion of constant warfare and survival. But it says that not all Garou are necessarily violent, nor necessarily hostile. Just most of them.
Similar strappings as modern societies burgeoning on those reclusive tribal cultures, like what was it? The Warrior Island, the one with all the cannibals and everything, where people keep trying to float over to it to try and spread the word of religion, then die because they don't understand the different cultural zeitgeist of different tribes that don't pertain to our normal acts of society. Yeah, I mean, hey, a warrior society, just because they come across as violent, may not be them being violent, it might just be part of their nature and their cultural philosophy.
Importantly, however, not all werewolves are Garou? What?
Garou denotes a type of werewolf.
Garou is not just the normative internal name for werewolves. It's a culture.
Yes.
See, it says it right here. A culture with a proud history, traditions, and ideals, and plentiful foes. But, just as not every Italian-American is born Sicilian enough for the Mafia, so too are many werewolves disconnected from their ancestral culture. And
it's like
that is not to speak of all those
labeling an
wolves whose
entire culture by one philosophy when there's like a
unrelated to
cultural hierarchy within each of them.
But that's neither here
Many
nor
different
there, nor
denotations and
anywhere.
different
Let us
elements
continue.
to bring within
We
each.
must see where Fatigue leads us.
Oh, dearest audience, we are at the scene of the discovery of the decade. Here at Mountain the Second, we find ourselves settled closer to what is said to be a tribal village.
I am scared.
Here run thinner trails.
I mean,
Mostly
you
human
are a
footprints,
piss
but with
baby.
distinctive
Of course you're
large
scared.
wolf prints stamped across their length. And whilst we find no further hieroglyphs, we have excavated a single large imprint of a wolf's head in a finely chiseled rock with what appears to be dried blood smeared into its eyes.
Yes, it could only taste like ash, iron, bristling, disgusting fur like the hedgehog. It was made
How do you know what a hedgehog tastes like, huh?
In fact,
Yes, quite the rancid sight.
Deadly boy.
breakfast is taken.
With such a gulf between these two territories, I hypothesize this. These could be people in the early throes of the lycanthropic disease. Perhaps even pagan werewolf worshippers, after a fashion.
So we're getting a lot of backstory about
inhabitants of
the
this territory are clearly distinct from
tribal
those
and
of the domain further
cultural
up into the
hackings
mountains.
of the white
In
werewolves.
any case, finding what we
And the
assume to be an
overlap into the
artistic
human
creation,
element.
This immaculate is of immense value. A picture is forming, dear audience. Hang on for more.
What is it?
The Fatigue podcast
Fatigue
will
is
return
simply
shortly.
wrong here. let us get into interpreting werewolves.
Yeah.
What is
Knowledge.
a werewolf, Miss Bergamot?
Wolf guy.
Wolf guy. Though grammatically it should be guy wolf. A guy who can turn into a wolf. But are all guys who can turn into wolves werewolves?
No.
No.
How do you figure?
Because like some vampires can turn into wolves. Right?
How do you know that?
Gary, old man, he turned into one. You know, in Dracula.
Get it, the Dracula acquaintance!
Oh, D, never change. Never change, you bumbling buffoon himbo.
Wait, movie film. Movie film, it's a movo. Okay.
You also talked about something with human animal vampires. And, like, I think Talisman is alright and stuff.
What's the point of this filibuster?
The point is that what Fatic you found here was indeed a sanctuary for wild humanimal-type vampires. Not Garou.
And you know that how?
Context clues, of course. They live near human civilization, for one. For two, they taste like death and blood to the mentalist.
Oh. Totally missed that, didn't I?
It's understandable. My brain is particularly giant.
Almost as big as my shoulders. And half as big as my dick.
Nevertheless, my point is...
Don't call me big dick,
provided
nothing.
a humanimal vampire's blood is potent enough, some can, in fact, turn into wolves.
What?
But that does not a werewolf make. Neither does a wizard altering their shape, or a fey creature.
Dude, they would be so confused if they went to a furry convention. They'd see all these, like, anthropomorphic wolves walking around going, "Ah! Lycanthropes! Lycanthropes! Bring out my brandishing mallet!"
Assuming a wolf's form, or a mummy with an extremely convincing death mask.
They're wizards and fae and mummy furries too.
Transmogrification and transformation does not a werewolf make. The process, it's all about the finer points. A werewolf requires to abide by certain connotations to be considered a werewolf. If you are simply just transforming into a wolf, that's not the process that would associate to being a werewolf. That's just you turning into a wolf to embody the dog you've always wanted to be. On all levels, just because on all levels except spiritual, you consider yourself to be a wolf, that doesn't make you a werewolf.
Be strong, Miss Bergamot!
About to melt.
I'm putting in the next record. We need more intel.
Dearest audience, we now sit at the find of the decade. Throughout the jungle that spans the second and third mountains, we have found nearly identical patterns that reference those previously uncovered. Yet they are different. Here, we have...
If anything, it also kind of brings into perspective the overlaps in mythoses between different cultures. Like how you have the nine-tailed fox, the kitsune, that's called a kitsune in Japanese, but you bring that over to like Chinese proverbs or even into like British proverbs, you consider it to be lycanthropy or whatever else. Like it's how Gaia is just a naming convention for a concept, and that concept transcends just one singular sort of paradigm. And I think that's like, it's all about the perspective you take on it. And that's kind of how interpreting this becomes very difficult, because these kind of things will be the same but different depending on where and how you look at them.
Discovered fairly distinct footprints, along with rough, artless claw marks across palm trees and rocks. And this is most smashing. Here in the depths of the Oriental jungle, we have discovered remnants of clothes, tents, supplies, debris, and the brutalized remains of animals. Mrs. Mock, could you confirm this as an oddity?
Of course, sir. This is not the work of insurrectionists.
Gonna take a wild stab in the dark and say that she's a werewolf. Or she's gonna turn into one.
Nor tribesfolk. These are unusual sights.
Yes, the clothes taste of wet dog.
Pascal, we didn't ask you to lick the rotting contents of that clothesline.
Oh, but I really wanted to.
Oh god, he's a freak.
No bite, no iron ash, barely different from human, but evil human, a dog, perhaps.
As suspected. Communityless stragglers who wallow in their lonesome, melancholic condition. Perhaps exiles, or at least not of the local communities. I find all this to be a bit too exciting, gentlemen. We will continue on. You shall hear from me again.
The flies!
Bloody flies! Get me
The
out of
flies!
here,
The flies! Free dinner.
What eclectic findings.
I was about to say, the flies turning up. Pascal's probably like, oh ho ho ho! Time to dine on these delectable morsels! Oh, ho, ho, ho.
Next one, quickly.
Is this the find of the decade, gentlemen? Perhaps, I say. Perhaps.
I love how they're going from like, we're upon the precipice of the find of the decade. We're at the find of the decade. Is this the find of the decade? Literally clickbait titles on YouTube.
With signs of ancient habitation and territorial display, all marked in a shallow dig site. However, this time, the markings were written in a language rather than hieroglyphs. The language appeared Sumerian in origin, though perhaps Proto-Indo-European is more appropriate.
Oh, thank you for the raid. Welcome in.
That's work for the
They're watching Hunts the Parenting.
Found on
You better go
site were
stream.
also signs of what I could surmise as local
Get a shout out for that
folk
person,
rituals,
please.
as well as crafts inlaid with precious pearls that, all
Go
with
rest,
rather clear
Nico,
intent,
go rest.
tell of a worship of the moon.
The pearls tasted of moon cheese, so I think that's yes.
All massively fascinating and
The
amazing stuff
moon
for the
is made of
museums back home.
cheese, and I'm made of
certain
slime.
King Tut won't be
That
lonely
makes
much
you made of
longer.
bitch.
Ah, what an amazing adventure. We have but one more journey, dear audience, and it is back to Mountain the First for the last of our excavations. You might not have known it, but this trek has gone on for a week. And many of our men have indeed contracted jungle flu and aggravated intestinal conditions. We'll be happy to conclude with these amazing findings, of which reports and relics aplenty will be brought back to the King's country in due time.
God save the king.
Societies galore. It is rather obvious the last two findings were not Garou in nature.
They weren't werewolves?
Were werewolves, weren't Garou.
Ah,
So-
see?
Not warriors.
They may have been warriors, but not warriors of Gaia.
So, for our purposes, there are werewolves who aren't of.
I wonder if that's the I wonder if that's the naming convention within their society where Aru defines warrior, the G defines Gaia, Garou, Gaia, Aru, Gaia warrior. I always like trying to dissect like naming, not naming conventions, but like what's the word for it? Codexes within languages, I guess, would be the way to say it. Still, it's interesting to think about.
And or do not fight for this Gaian purpose.
Of course! There are completely unrelated kinds of lycanthropy.
How do we know Matilda is a Garou specifically then?
We can safely assume, but I suppose we don't know for sure. She could, for instance, have been both the ghoul and a werewolf.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
Is that even possible?
Like originally she
Indeed
was a
it
ghoul,
is,
but now she's
son-in-law.
either in leagues or
That
she's been
and
converted to
worse.
the ghouls.
Abominations beyond telling. However, based on her physical appearance and the clear presence of packmates, this Stieg, whose way she claimed she oughtn't to have done from the start.
So, we know for certain there's more than one of them.
So where are you going to get the power to
Matilda
smite
was
them?
most likely Garou. That's an assumption we'll labor under, unless evidence suggests otherwise.
Either way,
And you know what? For all intents and purposes, D might be a bumbling himbo buffoon sometimes with the intrusive thoughts of a goddamn toddler. But when the man gets serious, when the man puts his thought to it, the guy's a goddamn genius. He's like such a dichotomous individual. One moment, drinking soap soup, and the next moment, spitting hot facts like it's a mixtape.
We need more info. Let's continue. Here, I've got, Record 6, Finding 5. The Targa Aminham
Ghost, thank you for the read,
Lexicon.
Dearest audience, we report to you at the scene of what we in the Fatigue Arcanum Scientific Expedition believe to be
the find of the
discovery
century!
In the field of lycanthropic studies. Past a waterfall in the depths of Mountain the First, a cavern has been discovered. A cavern that we would liken to a primitive church carved out of the rock. We are here right now, and here, look, across its perimeter, stones on top of stones on top of stones, mass collections of miniature cans. Now, bloody hell, you can't see it. It's a recording. They're all painted with very particular hieroglyphs. Many hieroglyphs of which we can cross-reference. Yes, cross-reference with other suspected Lycan territories. This is the find, gentlemen. The century,
man using titles that would work well as YouTube clickbait. The lycanthrope situation is insane.
Perhaps even translate the disparate hieroglyphs that seem to make up the Lycan alphabet. We will be taking many photographs and making entirely sure that nothing. Quiet. Everyone out!
What?
Get out of here!
What is going on? What is going on?
God in heaven!
Uh-oh. I mean, you did just walk into its house. You didn't even knock. You probably tripped in mud on your boots. Were you not expecting when you walked into a church of the werewolves that a werewolf might be taking that a little bit not positively?
What you likely expect. They came across one of their lichens.
The checking book, hold on. It'd seem this article is on Where Are Werewolves? Lycan territories are found across the world. Apparently, there is evidence of the word cairn being used to describe something like special sacred domains, both here in England and other English-speaking countries.
And it would make sense that when you have the what's the word? When you have the spread of lycanthropy across the world, it would take different forms and different names. It would be interpreted differently by different societies. That's what I mentioned earlier about how you get different. Yeah, that is it. That is it. It's just like, it's like how Bigfoot is referred to differently depending on where you talk about it, essentially.
Isn't that a word for like a pile of rocks?
It is spelt with an E, not an I.
Okay.
And that is because territories like these are special. They are places of power. Founts of spiritual might, very much worth protecting. In the right hands, they can be used to perform immense and wondrous acts.
Oh, this could be good.
I know he's not actually a cat boy, but the fact that his ears perk up when he's surprised and lower when he's sad, he's a cat boy. He's absolutely a cat boy. He's like, don't pretend to me that under that hoodie isn't a pair of actual cat ears.
List of assumed cairns. The place in the recording, the one at the end there, that was part of a cairn. And that was the target.
Ooh, a place where a bunch of cannid creatures belong? A cairn? A cairnal. A cairnal! No? Only I found that funny? Philistines.
Saga Aminhan lexicon, named as such for that wall of hieroglyphs. What they found has been used to cross-reference similar finds from across the world. Scholars have been able to find and excavate more territories with a lichen presence, new and old, all using it as a source.
Are there cairns in Norfolk?
There are! There are! One near Wolverton.
Oh,
Okay, so I want to point out, where's this place reside again? Where is the Abbey? What town is it? Is it Hampshire? No, not Hampshire. I want you to understand something, right? It is a real place, right? Norfolk, like this whole thing that they're basing their world in is a real place in England. Norfolk is the conglomerate of this place here, okay? Swaffham, you heard them talk about that. Friggin' Kingsmaine, Derrisham. I'm sure if we search around here, we'll find the places they're talking about. Fakenham, Aylsham, Gillingham. I think they mentioned that. Skull. And there it is! There's Yarmouth right there. So just to point out, by the way, it's a real place. It is a real place. And I am, thankfully, many, many miles away from it. I am down here. I am many, many miles away from this bullshit. Just to point out, by the way, guys, England is a real place, unfortunately, for most of the world.
That's clever.
It is assumed to be abandoned since the 60s. There's also one at a place called Sinclair's Grove, assumed abandoned since, oh wow, the 1700s.
So I guess we know where they're going to be going, now that they know there's a cairn in their general area.
The Warham Iron Age fort?
The one near our house?
It says they aren't sure whether or not it is actively used. That is so weird!
I shout conspiracies! You mean to tell me they had a cairn right near their house and they didn't even realize? I call divine providence on that. It's almost like it was made to be.
I've been hanging around there since I was a wee lad!
Well, best stay wary of that place in the future then. And perhaps check for fur and fangs in that Caracas.
Here's another. One somewhere in the area of Fritton Forest. Also known as Waveney Forest.
Oh, I've been there.
Or maybe they're two different forests, I'm not sure. And it's marked as inhabited.
That one is very close to Yarmouth.
That might not mean much, considering just how the werewolf escaped.
Really? Well, it makes a lot of sense to me, though. Hear me out.
Always!
A lake known as Fritton Decoy is in those woods. It was used during both the First and Second World War. As such, a few notable bits of folklore have crept up out of those woods. During World War II, the lake and its surrounding area became a secret training facility.
It's really, I gotta say, it is very, interesting that they've done this kind of research for the sake of this, like, series. Like, I don't think many of the people in this series, like, at least the people who made the series originally, they weren't really British, so the fact they've done all this research on British land and, mythos it's really cool. Like, they've really done their research.
For amphibious tanks, as well as a storage unit for depth charges. Reports of sabotage at the lake were found as part of a dossier on the facility. Buildings fell apart, trenches were ruined, depth charges were detonated. An entire tank was sunk into the lake, but the perpetrators were never found.
Huh.
In later years, reports of long-necked figures and big cats have made it in the area. Something of a popular...
England is rife with folklore and sites of cryptids. In fact, down where I live, there's a place called Dartmoor, and there's something called the Dartmoor Shadow, which is basically, people assume that there's a panther that is somehow living on Dartmoor. And for years and years, people have assumed that it's just a panther. But the trouble is, sights of this dark feline creature have been reported as far back as the 1910s. So unless this feline is as old as your mum, then it kind of brings into question that maybe there's even more of them, or maybe it's some eldritch cryptid that steals children.
Urban legend surrounding that place in particular. I'll also add, whilst I don't necessarily want to put stock in this, there is at least a few obscure accounts of the legendary ghost hound Black Shuck. Or at least shuck-like dogs in places like Burr Castle and on the road between Galston and Hopton.
Americans, I don't want to hear you chastising our naming conventions, okay? We're British. We're allowed to call things what we want. We named half of your cities, okay?
Closely surrounding that forest.
I gotta say, Matilda, she said she's a native, but she did say she lived near Hopton, and Fritton or Waveney or whatever is like almost the only real forest left in all of Norfolk.
It is our best bet so far. The Garou fight to preserve the world spirit, warring against those that would destroy it, protecting the few precious spots of woodland left in the mowed down hellscape that is Norfolk. That indeed fits their MO.
Matilda often talked about the earth dying, maybe even being dead on bad days. But as far as I knew, it was all a metaphor for like how shit our work is and how we have no social lives.
That rhetoric oozes with guile and resentment. Very interesting. Amanda!
What?
You have done well to share all you can. I, Big D, owe you a considerable debt.
Oh, it's all good. No worries.
For your various
I don't
contributions.
think anyone wants to be owed a debt by D, because nobody wants D turning up in their bedroom at 3 o'clock in the morning with a jar of peanut butter and soap soup.
It's a sheet of paper?
Not just any sheet. Open it.
An IOU?
It says...
I didn't even get to finish my sentence. I didn't even get to finish my fucking sentence. Why am I so in touch with the way D thinks? Oh my god. It's just the kind of thing D would do.
I owe you.
I sure do, Amanda. You can cash that in at a later point for a favor of your choice commensurate with the aid you've given us on this investigation.
Oh, thanks.
You are extremely welcome.
All right, next record.
Dude, D would be amazing to party with. Mostly because I'd love to watch him absolutely trounce the fucking chavs at my local pub.
This one is just labeled.
Oh, who am I kidding? He'd join in on them.
I am reporting
Still.
Wolf ran after us. That was a big wolf. He
Still.
shot me.
Still.
Shot me somehow. Shot me in the arm.
It is green!
Oh, that stung.
It is green!
What are you on about, you sap?
It is green!
Oh!
Claw in your ass is green, sir.
Pussy. I could take a clawing to the ass, no problem. I have scars to prove it.
don't care. I was shot. It shot its finger like a bloody derringer.
Derry finger!
Terry finger.
Where's being called the derringer?
Try finger, butthole.
Werewolves can shoot their claws?
Did you see when Matilda broke the wall into the security room?
Yeah, I, kind of remember that.
I think it might be worth finding out the particulars of the Garou, yeah?
Well, you have experienced its sheer physical prowess. You have experienced the mind-altering delirium. And indeed, you even got a taste of the spiritual gifts of the Garou.
Do shapeshifters have powers? Like
I
vampires?
mean, we saw it shoot out Fleischmann's arm.
But they're even more mystical, and often far more threatening.
Oh, come on!
I believe those abilities too.
Oh no, they're realizing how fucked they are! Oh no, that sudden stark realization that you're kinda just screwed, and that without some divine interventions from some mystical bullshit, you're in for a world of pain.
And from some sort of compact with spirits. Different spirits can grant different abilities that not only werewolves, but especially werewolves, can use in and out of combat. The Garou that chased them could have been a priest or warden, guarding their place of power. Thus, shooting claws was likely not the only ability it had.
Fatigue mentions the claw shot in the book.
What does he say?
Here. It's on a page about a particular werewolf tribe. And the tribe is designated with this hieroglyph.
Interesting.
He posits.
Now I'm wondering if we go back and look at the previous episode, if we'll see any, like, telling markings on Matilda.
That this particular trick has only been seen used by wolves in territories where this particular hieroglyph can also be found.
What more does it say about these tribal signs?
The hieroglyphs that kept popping up in the cairn, especially towards the end there. They're all here. Photographs, illustrations, all of it. Each hieroglyph has a different semantic expression. They all communicate something about various aspects of werewolf cultures, and some seem to indicate tribes.
Like the, Iceni tribe? Iceni?
Yeah.
Iceni.
Or, well, it says here the definition isn't exactly perfect. A tribe seems to also inherently be a faith or a
mean,
sect,
you know, I went into this
a denomination
with a little bit of a
So not a
hesitation of how
tribe,
long this
quite as
was,
we
but dude,
knew it.
this is exactly why we don't skip episodes. Just because this episode is long, dude, if we would have skipped this episode like we skipped the intermediary episodes in in chapter 1, dude, imagine how lost we would be when 6.0 comes out. Like, goddamn.
Other signs here, seem even more complicated.
Oakshab, Makari, thank you for following.
Expressed in the Queen's English as a sign that denotes a role.
I mean, who am I to turn down a free emote, you know? 'Cause it's British, innit, mate? It's a bit British. I mean, when you start reciting the Queen's English, your summer teeth come out. You know, all British people have summer teeth because some are here and some are there, and they get garish with the way they look at all that, you know? When the proper British comes out.
Society. It seems to be connected to when a werewolf shapeshifts for the first time. It's also in some capacity connected to the moon, as each symbol is replete with lunar symbolism. Each symbol seems to represent a phase of the moon.
Perhaps a role is given to a werewolf based on the phase of the moon when they first turned.
Well, that's stupid, though.
I've named a child or two through similar rites.
I mean, what if they were in space or something?
Oh, it's nonsense.
Nonsense.
We'll carry on.
Nonsense.
Yeah, let's just skip past the convenient happenstance, shall we? Plot convenient? No, it's just nonsense.
Wait.
What?
Oh my god. Shit.
What?
This page. Here. I've seen this sign.
The what?
I think.
Which one?
Yeah. It's this one. This one right here.
The,
With the 3 scratch marks.
The 3 scratch marks?
No. Okay, I'm not being stupid, I swear.
You've seen this mark?
Yes. Okay, yeah. Holy shit, listen, I've seen it on Matilda.
That's what I
I'm
thought!
telling you.
That's what I thought! I was wondering if, because surely if she's a Garou, then there would be symbology on her body. I was thinking that. So I wonder, again, I wonder if we go back into the previous episode, I wonder if we can see any of that, because I vaguely remember seeing, like, tattoos on her.
The werewolf?
All right, Matilda, she had these scars, and I've only seen them when we changed out of our clothes, okay? And I asked about it once, and she said a badger did it. And I mean, I didn't know badgers could do that, but didn't question it. But it looked just like this, though. Like, uncannily so.
Are you certain of this?
I'm dead certain. I remember it well because, you know, I'm inked up, and I thought it was a tattoo at first. Stupid. I know.
Looking at it, that sign seems to denote a tribe. Let me see if I can find anything more about it.
It's in Isla, thank you for the follow.
Okay. Good find.
Oh, really?
This is what Fatigue's got.
The fuck was that?
Find anything more about it. Okay. Good find.
Oh, really?
Was that a... Oh, they had a render error. That's so sad.
This is what Fatigue's got. The sign here has mostly been recorded in places untouched by humans, such as deep woodlands.
Like Fritton and or Wimney?
Closest thing we'll get to deep woodland near Yarmouth. Arcanum scholars, including Fatigue himself, have found this particular sign in Poland, Ukraine, Mongolia, Canada, and Greenland.
That doesn't really narrow it down.
All in uninhabited
That's
zones.
a very broad spectrum of places with
Of
nothing
note,
really denoting
they
their
mention that
similarities.
This particular mark has had a wide myriad of unfortunate incidents occur around it. One expedition was apparently chased by particularly aggressive wolves for a stretch of 14 miles, with at least 3 people disappearing during the chase. Another expedition was found after a time of no contact, ripped to shreds.
Oh.
Their heads mounted on the tops of fir trees.
Oh no.
On rare occasions, epithets have been recorded across territories with these wolves, all in various different languages, mind, but some of these wolves have called themselves land warders, dog soldiers, true.
There was a... Oh my god, that just gave me a freaking blast from the past. Do you remember the Christopher Eccleston movie? Dog Soldiers? I am now starting to wonder if that has any correlation at all. Oh my god. Okay.
Beastmen.
Great film, by the way. Great film.
Red talons. What's more, these wolves have been seen eroding inert materials, turning firm ground quicksand-like, and permanently transforming a person's mind to something likened to a feral animal, or even literally turning someone permanently into a wolf?
Don't let the furries hear this. They will go rabid.
Fuck, this shit sucks so much.
Horrifying. But generally, it would seem this bloody sign denotes a tribe that orients around intense, untamed brutality. To have such a sigil upon their flesh. No wonder Matilda was such a dour figure.
I mean, she did have this, like, mankind sucks thing about her. She had like 20 pins on her jacket. It all said, humanity fuck no, and She exclusively listened to something called the Misanthropod.
You know, it's at this point where you look at all of the warning signs from before. Yeah, you know what? All those stickers saying "fuck humanity," listening to a band called Misanthropod, and the fact that she had a tail, and that she was all about who let the dogs out, and I swear I saw her wearing a fursuit one time. You know, now that I think about it, the fact we didn't figure out she was a werewolf sooner kind of says something about us.
All right. But there's got to be more here.
Well, for starters, there's a probability we're dealing with a Garou of this tribal sigil.
The one on this page?
Oh, another one?
Weird marking.
How do you figure that?
And it looks kind of like a radio tower.
I recognize one of the epithets here.
Which one?
I've had physical interactions with this type before. In that time, I learned...
He slept with them. He slept with them, didn't he?
...the name Glasswalker. And that is among the purported titles of this tribe, it would seem.
Okay. Fatigue notes that they differ from other tribes as they're found mostly in urban areas. Instances of their sigil have been discovered as graffiti in fast food joints, power plants, computer halls, and...
a werewolf society that's more integrated into the normalcy of society. That's even scarier.
Online forums?
Fucked up, is it not?
Yeah. I could have been on Messenger with a werewolf this whole time. That is fucked up. They are assumed to be a very metropolitan and industrious tribe. This too reflected in their recorded abilities. Wolves correlated with this tribal sign have been seen controlling machines from afar with mere grunts, taking forth sizable items from thin air, stealing the corporeal life.
You see, the disparity between werewolf and witch is minute.
Likenesses of others.
Oh my god. You know, the longer I look at the sign, I think I've seen it before too.
This one too? Where?
This will sound so stupid, but I was cleaning out the security room, usually Matilda's job, and I came across some cobwebs in there, and it was the strangest thing, because the cobwebs had this insane pattern. I'd never seen anything like it, and I remember clearly that one of the patterns in the web looked like that.
That all but confirms it. I pointed this sign out because I believed their influence might have resulted in the sabotage Marcus and Brockham reported in the security room.
So that means there's more than one tribe involved with this? Uh-oh.
These Glasswalkers are internet-savvy dogmen, and as far as I know, seem to be distrusted for their connections to the technological witchcraft of man. Thus, Matilda was not alone in her infiltration.
Oh my god.
And one of her packmates was likely a member of this tribe.
Okay, that's all well and
I'm
good,
getting PTSD flashbacks and trying to play Red Alert back in the day online and having to deal with the dial-up
What have you
time.
noticed? What?
Mom, get off the phone! I'm trying to beat friggin' the Hand of Nod over here. No, wait. I'm trying to beat the Soviets, Mom.
Fucking says...
Black Shock.
We need to check this.
This topic follows us, it would seem.
It takes us to yet another tribal sign. They apparently found this sign in several locations, likely drawn by the same werewolf. The signs followed something of a trail, starting all the way to the east coast of Sweden.
I'm starting to think now, have we seen any of these signs in previous episodes?
To Norfolk!
So a tribe
Fucking
that travels
Norfolk!
A familiar concept. And, as it would seem, this is one member who has journeyed far.
Wolves who leave these signs in their tracks have been seen tunneling underground with unnatural rapidity and moving long distances in a single moment, coming upon their victim in the blink of an eye.
Having a Garou up in your face before you can even realize it is among the most deadly experiences I can imagine.
I am feeling so...
I know. I know.
It would seem all instances of this sign have a similar pattern. The signers do not keep territories, but move across vast portions of land, often on foot or paw. But why travel from Scandinavia to Norfolk?
If you look here, it seems the same journey has been taken by several wolves, going all the way back to the Viking raids of the 9th century.
That sounds like it might have some connective tissue with...
The shock thing, right? But how?
In some interpretations of the tale, the Shuck legend came here with the Viking raids, informed by
Dude, we've
Norse
been going
mythology
all over
even.
the mythos. Vikings,
This
Japan,
claim is heavily
Scandinavia,
scrutinized by
Canada.
scholars, however, but
And we were wondering
this
how the furry
part of
fandom got
history eludes
manifested.
them. It recontextualizes things. Is Marcus with the Black Shuck?
May our livers bloat with bravery. We will sorely need it in the coming hours.
There. Fuck. Get it together.
You're brave. Braver than anyone I've ever met.
We know only one braver. And we're going to get him. Soon.
Door?
Thank you.
Oh, Marcus.
There are many other tribal signs with their own unique findings surrounding them, but these three seem most relevant for now, yeah?
Let us learn more by listening to what comes next.
You're right. Let's do it. Record 8. The Tribe.
Come on, Fatigue. We're dead.
I report to you now from a jungle village housed by one of the local mountain tribes. It has been a few days since last, and I need to let it be known matters have progressed quite poorly. Several expedition members have entered Catatonia after the horror at the cavern. To add insult to injury, however, our expedition is now hampered by these jungle people, who have effectively erected barricades, preventing us from continued excavation.
It's almost like they know what's best for you and don't want you stirring shit up.
Birth children and formed culture and lived here for hundreds of whatever years does not mean God intended for you to stay in our dig site!
He's after them antiquities for the museum, bruv. Is he stupid? Yes.
The tribe leader would like you to not dig up their home.
Woman, wield the powers invested in me as the voice of Emperor George himself!
This poor soul understand that we need this area depopulation.
Cease your obstination.
Sounds like Arnold
Aid
Schwarzenegger.
us, and we would lead you back to society to be integrated under the local government. A dream!
Colonialization at its finest.
Precious goods! Does it not sound wondrous, tribesman?
Yes! Abandon your ways of living that you've had for thousands of years. Integrate with British antiquities. Yes, it's fantastic. Colonialization at its finest.
Di ka na mapunta sa paghalingkan. Gusto na maghalin ka, para kakot-kot na ka mga butang amot sa kapanaw nga istorto ng mga ayam.
Minangugin niya. Isda kami dyan. Ikan, mga espiritu ka dyan ng mga bukid hindi dapat isumuhon.
Common sense versus stupidity. Overwhelming sense of pride versus general common sense.
Nagkatilikano nga malimsin sa tungan na kakiiman nga mga nag-istat niya hindi dapat pagtublagon. Gusto namon nga makilalaan kang mga espiritu ang amon kilwangan. Kang maghalitin niya ang mga mag-ahon kang bangong na tao mo.
They will consider your request if you set up camp at what they call the Ravine of Friendship.
The Ravine of Friendship.
Yes, sir.
She's doing a very good job
It is
of
a place reserved for
translating
friends.
respectfully.
I am a friend. From a succeeded.
It's said to be a place where dogs dare not tread. Holy ground.
Monsieur Fatigue. Holy ground, they say. Oh, Goomba, you are incorrigible.
They ask you remain near the ravine for 3 days
What? Oh,
for
God.
their deliberation.
3 days? Kill me. My weakest suffer elephant skin, jungloid dysentery, and early onset melancholia. So our expedition must continue.
2 days then? Well, 1.5?
No! There's no reasoning with jungle savages.
Hey, that's sounding a bit racist, my guy.
Forsaken heart. No waffle dinner for you.
Dalihog pa sa luya. Hindi magbuhay ang mga sapat kanya.
She's trying her best.
Pascal!
What?
I was gonna say, why are they so, like, down?
Drop the shovels!
Why are they, like...
I dropped them because
If it wasn't for him, they'd probably be a little bit, like, compromising, like, yeah, okay, we'll do that. This guy, nah. I want my antiquities, and I want them now!
You talk back, you back-talker! If you want your father to receive a decent review of your efforts from me, then you better kneel before your betters. Is that understood?
Oui, monsieur.
In English!
Yes, Lord.
Vernon, we go. Pascal, old chap.
Sadi, what is your take on Chronic?
The Elder Fatigue? He seems to be a great proponent of traditional values.
That's one way of putting
And you
it.
know what I think about traditional values.
You know what?
Good
Yeah,
old
why am I
family
wasting time on this?
values.
Moving on.
Of which we
Next
used to
record.
rely. Na
Ravine
na na na
of
na 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 na.
But
Hell with these goddamn flies. Oh, there we are. Hello, audience. We have
Hello,
temporarily
Fatigue.
set up camp at
If it
the
said Fatigue,
so-named
hello.
Ravine of Friendship. It is nighttime. My lord father and uncles have left camp to gorge on the ripest fruit around. Lord Father has proclaimed that the expedition again will continue tomorrow morn, despite the request for a 3-day deliberation period from the tribe's elder council. Now, Mrs. Mark... Mrs. Mark? Mark!
Yes, sir?
Where were you?
Just looking into the ravine, sir.
Oh, something.
Quite deep.
Like, this is foreshadowing, right? Storytelling. Like, I knew something was gonna happen with her, and I feel like we're coming to the epicenter of it.
Of course, sir.
It surrounds our perimeter, you know. The Lycans should indeed have a hard time coming from just about any direction.
Of course, sir.
Nevertheless, you were the one to translate the King's English to, the jungle language, yes?
Inaraya, sir.
Kina, yes, that. In our negotiations, how unreasonable would you say these mountain dwellers truly were?
Young Sir Vernon, I would never want to cast doubt on your father's
Unreasonable.
negotiation
Typical
skills,
British antics.
but-
Trying to pin it on them rather than you. Oh, yes, we just... listen, we don't want much. We don't want much. We just want to come into your land. We want to dig up all your place. We want to completely disassociate you from your heritageal sites. We just need to take what we want. We need you to completely abide by our way of thinking. It's only what we want, nothing more. But we're being reasonable. You're being unreasonable. You should listen to what we say.
I to believe they had a reasoned argument for stopping this expedition.
What? What does that mean?
You saw the beast with the green claws.
My new asshole is a stark reminder.
Those who live here know the beasts. They respect the beast's territory and are never themselves attacked. But those you lead here, those who entered and got a closer look than you, just merely being present has had them enter this state of delirium. And those who got a closer look yet are no longer with us. And again,
Dude, my ADHD ass would have been too impatient. I would have dove straight in like, ooh, shiny rocks.
Perhaps those who live here.
But because I don't have sanity to begin with, I would have been fine.
Right?
Are right. I mean,
What? How can you be saying this? We're out here to help you. What of your child?
What do you mean help them? They've clearly been fine living the way they have. God damn it, I hate that, like, better than thou syndrome. Yeah, we've never come here before, but we're gonna come out here and tell you that our way of doing things is better, even though the way you've been doing things has been fine for multiple centuries.
Mrs. Mark.
why are you here, Gwennon?
Well, Lord Father brought me, but I don't see how my specific purpose is relevant.
Neither is my child's. In the grand scheme of this expedition, only your father's purpose matters. But you are not your father, and you need not follow him.
Why wouldn't I?
His purpose is not what it seems.
What do you mean? No. What? Gunfire so near the camp?
Come with me.
Where to?
Uh-oh, shit's going sideways. Marta, thank you for
Put
following.
in the next one immediately.
Agreed.
Mr. T3 then.
Record 10. Taken by nails.
Is it going? It works. Yes.
Oh god, new people.
We are not even here come from.
This is a message for the President of the United States. The Katipunan still lives, and its nails of Christ know the true nature of the demons you import into our lands.
What? You send hounds of Satan and ungodly magic?
Yes!
Ahem. Fuck around and find out. You fucked around, and now the insurrectionists are helping you find out. If you're not dealing with the werewolves, you're dealing with the consequence of your actions. I would say this is pretty justified. Yeah, I'd say the village people were like, ugh, I don't want to talk to the regular Filipino people because they're integrated into society, but the people I want to deal with less than the insurrectionists are the British. Valid and fair.
You kidnapped and murdered.
You take our children! What? What are you possibly...
Ooh, I wonder if Fatigue the Elder has been doing stuff behind their back. I wonder if Fatigue has some subversive ulterior motives. Ooh.
The camp blew up.
Yes! Explosion! Suffer, devil's boss! He will have us overcome you, as he once helped David overcome Saul. And for these children,
They are the colony of this pack, yes?
Yes.
a message for the leaders of your invasion.
We have your children. If you do not return our...
What?
Where the bloody hell did that come from?
River Serpent! Hound! Hound!
So the regular Filipinos weren't ready for the werewolves? Oh, okay, there's some shit going on. Oh my god! I got jump scared! Jesus Christ!
Werewolf. Yeah.
I can't imagine anything else. What the hell is going on in these recordings? Who are these?
There's more questions than answers.
I'm familiar with them from my own time in the Philippines. They're a religious hunter organization operating throughout Southeast Asia, with origins in the Philippines. They target supernatural threats that come to prey from the vantage point of privilege, like those detestable ticks that would traffic humans from these countries.
But then, why would they target the Fatigues here?
There could be a...
Because Daddy Fatigue wasn't being honest. Daddy Fatigue's got ulterior motives. Daddy Fatigue's a dick.
myriad of reasons, but I care not to guess. I'd rather want...
I'm gonna make a speculation, by the way. I think Daddy Fatigue is a bad guy, obviously. I have a sneaking suspicion Daddy Fatigue may not be dead. I have a sneaking suspicion Daddy Fatigue might actually be behind everything. And we're gonna see him alive and well within the lycanthropy.
To know.
Right. Another thing, though. Where did that werewolf come from?
I said river surface. It came from the river surface. Just like...
Like how well, you're Amanda. Like how Matilda escaped.
Is that another...
Trust D to forget names.
I can shed some light on this, as it is not only the Garou who dabble in... well... Before anything, no, this knowledge is not for the faint of heart.
I'm not leaving. I want to, but I've stayed for this long.
That you have, recruit. Your fortitude is to be commended. But this might just be the most trying subject yet. And son-in-law?
Yes?
All of what I just said goes for you, too. This information
I would give any money if son-in-law was like, you know what? You're right. This is above my pay grade. I'm out. I'm gonna go find a new fiance. Bye.
Essential in nature. It cannot be unknown.
I do not care. Anything to save him.
The Umbra. It is no mere dream. When the light of cognition perceives physical reality...
That looks eerily like the world that Matilda descended into. Look back at the previous episode when she goes down into the ground. Very similar, like... Oh, for fuck's sake! I'm sorry, I've just seen this here. Man, I hate being an artist, the fact that I can identify what brush they used. Oh my god. And so my immersion is ruined. Would you look at that? Same. Well, at least I know what they made the illustration in.
A shadow is cast. And that shadow reality is the Umbra. That is, in part, how it works. And even then, this is just how we make sense of it.
It is entirely metaphysical in nature, then.
Indeed. It follows no law.
That's a brush, that's a brush. That's a brush. That pattern there's a brush. Golly, it's almost like they had to use some kind of digital provider to make this.
But we can understand. Formed, at least in part, of thoughts, emotions, abstract immateria. Perhaps it is something along the lines of a signal. Not unlike a radio wave.
You say the Umbra, I call it the warp.
Traceably emitting information from our minds into this meta-experiential shadow.
Yeah, the warp!
As some kind of palpable byproduct, or even integral part of the brain's biochemical...
Oh boy, how things are different, but how they stay the same.
Process. All signals connecting everything in our shared experience of reality in ways we cannot fully see or hear or sense with our limited perception. But even then, that is still only guesswork. Here is where the animist ways of the Garou originate, much like druids or faefolk who worship the world spirit.
And tying in even more mythoses.
Connection to the Umbra that we cannot even perceive.
I mean, the druidic arts sound like they fit very well into this theology.
And so, trying to explain the Umbra to you is not possible for me. You'll have to experience it for yourself if you want to know.
Well, thank you, the biddies.
But you are not ready.
I am ready for...
No, son-in-law. Even the Garou fear and respect the Umbra.
I wonder if the Umbra has any correlation with the realm that Marcus tapped into. Maybe it even was the Umbra, and maybe somehow Marcus is like this bridge between them, or like a what's the word for it? Medium of it, like a channeler of it, like a receptor kind of thing.
Crater fears.
Conduit, yes, a conduit. Thank you.
Yes,
Catalyst.
but
Many
foolish.
Many
Let
words.
us
What do they
instead
mean?
discuss this more practically. What can we know about the Umbra and Matilda's use of it? Well, for one, Matilda did enter the Umbra through the reflection on that puddle. It is possible to enter the Umbra in many ways. Occam, for one. Did you know his pendant allows him access into the Umbra?
Wait, really?
Pendant?
Does he use it?
Of course not. Too dangerous. But it does give me... Now
Thanks for telling that
discuss
scam train,
that
guys.
with Occam. In either
Level
case,
10 for a,
it was also for
buy
the
sale.
Umbra that wolves are able to use many of their abilities. The abstract and lawless nature of the Umbra often has a terrible effect on the material world.
So, the ghosts or spirits you mentioned, is this shadow reality where they live?
Bingo bongo! And those with the know-how can channel the spirits that exist in the Umbra by acting as a bridge between the Umbra and the material world.
Okay. So for those people out there that are totally confused but no Warhammer, you know, all that is simply put, psychers channeling the warp to zap people with lightning. Yeah, same but different.
They're able to emit the effects of the spirit's power to wondrous or terrible effect.
Then why don't we learn how?
You think you could just learn that?
I am willing to do anything.
You
No.
can't just blow a hole in
Learning
the
that
surface
will
of
take
Mars.
too much time. It will demand a stranger's aid, and it involves too
Let's see Paul Allen's Umbra. Yeah, let's see Paul Allen's Umbra. Let's see Paul Allen's Umbra.
much tampering with the Umbra for a mind such as yours.
I cannot stand being without him like this. I will do anything.
Son-in-law, all these feelings, this morbid grit emitting from your mind, they too become spirits in their own right.
Oh, what does that matter?
These spirits, the spirits of your own suffering, the suffering of others, the suffering of the world. It, in an amalgamate cesspool of evil, hatred, dogma, and despotism, growing and boiling over with malevolent sentience, it comes for us. It is an evil spiral that grows ever deeper. Even now, as they gnaw at your soul, they want more, and they would eat you whole should they get the chance. And I do mean that literally, should they make it back with you into our reality.
Yeah, the parallels between this and the warp are stark.
Why? Because the warp...
You know, we still haven't answered the question. Who is the ghost of cheese? Is somebody from the Umbra manipulating the cheese, maybe? Ah, causality.
The world is bad. Do you understand?
Dude, I love it when D gets serious like this. All that feigned bravado, all that goofiness falls away the second it requires him to be serious. And when he's serious, that's when you know you got to pay attention.
I think I'd rather not exist in this reality anymore.
What are you saying now?
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
My parents chose not to. They couldn't stand this reality.
Oh.
As someone without a place or chance.
Oh wow, that
I
got
was them
dark.
facing mundane things.
You're right. Maybe they were right. I cannot stand to be all alone again.
Are there?
Oh no, like you notice how the flies have suddenly come back? You notice how like it's getting like really weird? I think Kitten's being affected by something.
Actually monsters under the bed.
Alone with demons.
Are there demons?
Nothing worked anymore.
Can I be possessed?
I was possessed with guilt, hatred.
No, I'm not already.
I was too young to be so alone.
Dude, even this hint of learning about the Umbra and they're already being affected this badly. Yeah, they do not want to be dabbling with the Umbra if this is how bad they're getting hit. D isn't even being like hasn't even had a hint of it yet, but just not having any experience with it, they're more exposed to it.
Nothing works anymore.
My future was buried with them.
Is there a god?
There are no good gods.
I will judge my whole life, my every action, my every thought.
My future is buried with them.
Am I going to hell?
I will be buried with them.
Will I get murdered in my bed and suffer infinite torture?
Stop this now! Marcus will live! You will live! You will not go to any hell! And I will teach you to strangle gods and demons and monsters with your bare hands! The world may be bad, but the Hunter's way, my way, is to make it better.
Someone in chat said it better than me. Like and subscribe for existential dread.
Even if it so involves a few righteous murders. Now get up and give me your war cries! No!
Show me your war face! Like, as goofy as it is, as goofy as what D is doing, I know what he's doing. He's bringing them back to a plane of normalcy. They were falling into the umbral. They were falling prey to the worm. They had allowed that to seep into their minds. Just like how the warp seeps into the mind. The second you bring acknowledgement to something, like knowledge is power, knowledge is a curse. When you become aware of something, you pertain its existence. This is something, like, I know it's going to be like a really weird comparison, but it's the Freddy Krueger philosophy. Becoming aware of Freddy Krueger allows him to enter into your mind. The knowing of something is like a virus. You cannot stop an idea. And I feel like that's kind of what they're treading on this here, is that them becoming aware of the Umbra, becoming aware of this chemistry, allowed them to become susceptible to it. It's like when you're asleep in bed at night and you hear a creak in your house, the slight thought that it could be an intruder or a ghost. You know it's not. The most likely thing is it's just the floorboards creaking. But that thought permeates your mind and it becomes a virus. It spreads. It takes over your mind. You cannot stop thinking about it. The strongest thing in the world that cannot be defeated is an idea. And all it takes is somebody to say something, to plant that idea for it to spread. And I think that's kind of what they're compelling at here.
There you go! Drown
So he's
this
bringing them
sorrowful
back to
serenity
normalcy.
in bouts of adrenaline! It will be all we survive on in the coming hours. Partake wishes to teach us more, and we will listen. Next, we may just learn how to best survive our encounter. Because the next record here, it's called A Werewolf Defeated. Shall we learn?
Yes, sir!
My head is empty, filled with murder.
Good! And
That's
you
the
tell me if
spirit.
you're feeling death-driven again. I'll make you perform my most devious self-care methods. The one involved.
I want to. Yeah. Master.
Involving the cobra.
Oh.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
This needs to be recorded. Of course.
I forgot what I was saying. Anyway, point being. I'm with the tribesmen here.
Grace of God.
Nobody likes random MacGuffins coming in and telling them what to do with their own land.
A lycanthrope of the worst fashion I have ever seen. It came for the insurrectionists and slaughtered them all. But we escaped, though Pascal was hurt by it. He lost his eye.
Oh.
So callously, it tore his eye out before we ran. He sleeps now. We put him under with what we had. But that demon, I fear it might still be here somewhere. Father!
Vernon!
Father! Vernon! Oh, my boy! My boy, he's safe! Praise God to see you, Vernon! How fare you, my son?
Father, the insurrectionists, they took us. But a lycan fiend killed them. We escaped.
Fortuitous!
Golly, it's almost like bringing all this death and destruction to the front door of the lycanthrope's territory brought their attention down upon you. It's almost like if you would have just let things be, nothing would be going wrong. It's like you don't mess with the equilibrium of an environment. Golly, yeah, Britain. Oh, sorry, America. Both.
Neither I nor your uncles were harmed at last.
We did not die.
I might also report the leaders of the mountain dwellers all lie dead.
Oh.
What happened?
Oh, she's not gonna like that.
Lycan. He let the gate sit open.
No, he did it. He killed them. He killed them. He killed them. She's gonna find out. He killed them. She's gonna become a werewolf. She's gonna be like, you know what? The werewolves were bad for taking my child, but you lot are worse than the werewolves.
After us, his messengers were so callously thrown out. And like a fox in a chicken coop, the Lycan merely followed its nature.
What, my God?
Yes, a regular Sodom and Gomorrah. Savages killing savages. But, hunters that we are, we found the Lycan, and we brought it down.
What?
No, they didn't.
You did? Come, let me show you.
How?
Let us find out. Turn the record.
I sense shenanigans.
Radio audience, this truly is the find of the millennium. A lycan, captured by my Lord Father, Chronic Fatigue.
What?
Keeping her down was not easy. Goomba was with us. May he rest in peace. But his faith was true. This true faith compelled the Lycan, shackled it, held it in place for us to stake it with spikes of silver. You may note the Lycan's corrupt humors as it grows lost limbs again and again. But the speed of its recovery can be halted. A Lycan can survive even without its head, but damage it enough, and the rate at which its flesh returns will not keep up. And silver, the Lord's pure word in material form.
I mean, that's kind of a
stabs into the
cliche,
flesh of the
right?
Lycan, and true wounds are shaped, ones it cannot heal, ones that can kill it.
It shifts its shape like water flows. Wolf, man-wolf, human.
She is injected with the heaviest possible dose of opiates.
Mean that?
The shifting has not been deliberate.
Her claws, they are green.
This creature is not a culprit. He did not take my child.
How do you know?
The culprit had no claws. The one that took her had slouching skin. Human hands.
Skinwalker.
Human hands?
What did I tell you? Even these fools could jimmy a werewolf.
That brings some comfort.
Is there anything in the tome regarding a werewolf's form, son-in-law?
Yes, there is. Shape shifting. There's a whole section here exploring the concept of the lichen as a shifter.
I find it so funny when we're watching a video about werewolves. I've just been followed by somebody called Mum, I found your yiffs. Well, how fortuitous you join us. Thank you for that.
Its ability to shift between several very anthropic morphal states.
What?
Different forms, to be clear. I've witnessed the Garou shift between 3 forms, as mentioned by the elder Fatigue. The human form, the wolf form, and of course, the hulking, vicious war form.
I could take it. I could take it. Yeah.
Matilda did seem to have a 4th wolfman form. Very similar to the humanimal type vampire.
Rocking wild sideburns and Ape Boy's memory.
There's an ape boy?
R.I.P. Ape Boy.
Ape Boy!
Fatigue does note the existence of at least 3 forms, potentially 4, reaffirming the wolfman form idea. Potentially even 5 with a theoretical direwolf form, and maybe even 6 forms as suggested by what is considered a fringe
Just this begs the sentiment of, like, if you've ever seen the meme of a centaur, but what if the bottom half was a human and the upper half was the horse? Half man, half horse, but which side is which?
scholar in the field, claiming to have seen a wolf with human feet.
Foot Bro! The name of it was Foot Bro! Oh, I'm dead, dude. I am dead.
Deeply.
He also cites other scholars who believe there are no such thing as modal forms, but rather a diapason of variable states, ranging a full, gradual spectrum between the wolf and the human morphal states. Oh fuck.
What, son-in-law?
There have been reports of not only the classic...
Okay, but what about a 7th form? What about a 7th form where the bottom half is canid? Yes, enjoy my amazing MS Paint skills. I am an artist, by the way, I'll have you know. Yeah, what if the bottom half, wolf, you know? But bottom half wolf, but then from the neck up, it's just... Yeah. Okay, now get that image in your head. Now that that image is in your head, it's never gonna leave. You're welcome.
Classical wolf shifters, but also those that take shapes more similar to dogs, bears, and, as he can personally attest, large cats. Holy shit! Does that explain the myriad of stories about big cats here in Norfolk? There have been alleged sightings of panthers and pumas.
Oh, that's what I said at the beginning! That's literally what I said! Oh my god, I'm so hip with the trends and the memes! I called one of those right up!
And other large felines like folklore going back as far as medieval times.
I can confirm the existence of the cat shifter.
You can?
Yes. In fact, I'm more familiar with these werecats than I am with werewolves, funnily enough. Less, extreme danger in proceedings. What's more, I've also been witness to were-ravens, were-sharks, were-spiders.
Spiders? No. Fuck off.
What? How does that even work?
Son-in-law, how does time work? Because I don't think it does.
Poorly!
So, will the rescue operation for Marcus have to deal with both werewolves and wereheads, though?
As far as I know, they usually do not commingle. Much like the funny cats versus dogs filmograph.
Well, on the topic, Fatigue says, whilst rejected by the scholarly consensus on the subject, he has personally witnessed peaceful interactions between lycanthropes and Iluranthropes in the East Anglian territories.
Right, yeah. Cats and dogs living together. It's mass hysteria.
I still do not think we have to worry.
Why?
The werecats in Norfolk are... maybe I'm just wrong.
You're doing this right now?
It is simply irrelevant.
No. You started this conversation. Finish it.
More relevant here is that other notable thing established. They managed to defeat one. So let us collate our details on killing werewolves. And indeed, it is good to remember. Silver. Wits. That must be our way forward.
That
There are so many
reminds me,
Ghostbuster references in this entire,
back
in this
during
entire
our
episode.
talk in the kitchen, you mentioned
God,
that
I can't believe we got a feature-length movie of Hunter the Parenting before we got Grand Theft Auto 6.
a compact with the moon. I take it that it has more to do with the spirit of the moon than the actual physical moon.
Of course. There is a connection between the spirit Luna and the wolves, just as there is between the world spirit and the wolves. But what exactly that connection or concord is hard to grasp. As with everything Umbral, there is no hard set truth. It lies not within the purview of human perception, but it is at the same time a reality, and it is there for them and us to use.
I mean, as the Chronic guy said, the wolves can be killed with silver. But what does that mean?
I believe it is the only real way to kill a werewolf. Past, perhaps, launching them into a volcano. Maybe. Unless...
We have no volcanoes here in Norfolk, so silver will have to do.
There are no volcanoes in Norfolk.
As far as you know.
Oh, what does that mean?
I thought you had lived here all your life.
I have!
That you erupt with their propaganda.
Who is they?
Big Hill, of course.
Big Hill! You cannot stop pulling out these random bits of tripe this deep into this analysis. Now, we were just about to start understanding the lycanthropy, and now we're pulling out Big Hill propaganda? Are you kidding?
Next!
It is here that I shall chronicle my experimentation with Timothy Leary's newfangled dream liquid. Here I go.
Oh god.
Oh no, that didn't sound...
Sorry. Wrong one. Here. This is...
Why did he chronicle that? All I can picture in my head is a grizzled old man flailing around a room with a bottle in his mouth.
This is the one. Yeah, here.
Oh, this one's labeled Oculus Imperium.
Hello. I am not all there today. Barely even care for all the flies trying to nuzzle my scalp. We're preparing the last dig site in the village. I don't really know why. I mean, we've captured a werewolf. I don't get to see it, though. Father has sequestered it, and now insists we are to continue our dig. What is the point? We have a werewolf. Why are we tearing this village apart?
Because Daddy's up to no good.
I suppose I could, By Jove! If I could just use the oculus near the dig site, perhaps I can see why. Let me just...
Well, this explains how he got to understand how to use the Oculus.
It latching onto my eye, it never gets easy, I'll tell you. Now, it's quite late, so I will have to sneak out. Here I
Methinks this is going to end up in shenanigans. Doing what he shouldn't. He's going to see what he shouldn't. He's going to see behind the truth of things.
Walking the Oculus? I'm sorry, I wanted to see the dig site. With the Oculus. My utmost apologies. Listen, my son. This trip, it has been quite an adventure, has it not?
That's one way to put it.
Certainly has, Father. I say this with no small modicum of pride. You, Wernan, you are on the threshold of manhood. You are about to become a true heir to the Partake legacy. You are about to change forever.
What does that mean?
For all this to transpire, there is a final thing you must do. What do you mean? To share in the family legacy, you must share in the family secret. And this is nothing you will tell of to anyone. Ever. Can I have your undying oath, my son? Of course.
And of course he doesn't, like, pause even for a moment, because he's completely sequestered from his mind that there's a recording device listening in.
I'm just so surprised is all. Oh, don't worry, my boy. I was just like you when my father sprang all this upon me. But it is important that it happen now. In fact, it is the very reason we came to this land in the first place. What? Meet us by the dig site in an hour. Me and your uncles. And do not tarry, my beloved son. I am so happy to have you as mine.
His mannerisms have been changed entirely.
Thank you, Father. See you soon. Oh, this is exciting!
Never mind. Never mind, they're exactly the same.
God, please.
We're done.
Am I to jump at everything tonight? What is it?
That strange eye of yours.
Yes?
What did it see?
I saw...
Hey, Xander. Been a while, friend.
My father.
Yes.
Did you know?
It is why
Yes,
I am
did
here.
you know? Did you
Your
know?
father took my daughter.
I knew it! I absolutely knew it. I caught that since the word go. I knew that was the way it was going to be. Honestly, wait, haunch skin? I mean, that makes... I suppose that kind of makes sense when you think about it. Very interesting. Very, very interesting.
Go where they are. I will follow.
This...
The fuck?
What?
Chronic. What a fool to allow all this to be recorded.
Sure bloody is. Next record. The Family Secret.
Okay, we're not going to question how he's able to get the recording device, which was probably antiquated more than his father is at this point, to go with him on this journey.
Wernan! Come! Come, my son!
Wernan. Father. What have you done? Have you ever wondered about your lineage? What do you mean? Have you ever wondered how we know?
Are they werewolves? Are they... Is the reason why Fatigue got killed because their entire family are werewolves, and it was more of a tribal dispute?
Normal men of the United Kingdom could ever best such ferocious beasts of hell as that you see before you. No mere man could. These creatures are warriors of Satan herself, cursed with the strength and intent to murder 1,000 men and live. And so, Werner, what could a mere man do against the evils that would prevent him his right?
I figured you, my Lord Father, Lord Uncles, were no mere men, but blessed by God to stand against the darkness.
Yes, yes, you understand, my son. See my progeny and his understanding of our world. My son, let me tell you. You have set all the pieces in place.
We're about to get a bit of big reveal.
There is just a single piece left that we hand to you now. The way we have been blessed, our humors unconflicted, our will fair, and our rights true. We have found the way to take the wolf from the lichen and use it in the name of God.
I was kind of piecing this together, and it kind of explains, like, okay, so I have a speculation. I almost speculate that Matilda killing my boy there was actually not even part of the whole Fatigue. Wasn't even part of the whole thing. I think maybe that was just a grudge that they settled at the same time they were doing the whole subversion thing. Maybe it's not even related to the, like, intent they went there for, and that they knew of Fatigue's past.
Ask you do now. This green-clawed lycanthrope, suffering the devil's melancholia.
I'm making some speculations here. I'm making a speculation. He's not dead. He is still alive, and we're going to see him later in a later episode. I'm also, I mean, maybe he isn't dead either, but at the same time probably is, maybe, possibly. I mean, that's probably more farcical, but still.
An evil curse that you, in the furnace of your righteousness, must convert into a just cause.
And how would I do this?
Werner, you must skin this beast.
Wait, are they skinwalkers?
Trophy. Take its power as your own. Skin it? Moscow, Mentel, would you prepare the brew? Yes, gracias.
And it's at this time that the lady they're with is like, haha, that's enough of this bullshit.
Oh, Uncles, what are you doing to it?
From kidney or spleen, the melancholic humor, black bile, shall in its plenty be extracted, for it is the source of the condition. Fat of lamb and blessed water will drive the devil.
Isn't it so hypocritical that the man of God, the man who stands for the religion and the holy and the Christianity of things, is dabbling in the witchcraft, the black magic? If anything, that's hyperbole for the world we live in today and the hypocrisy therein.
From the blend, you must drink under the light of this full moon, as you wear the skin of the beast and recite the prayers.
So they become skinwalkers.
And so, my son, you will claim this creature's moon. The devil will be exorcised as another wolf of God is
spawn. The powers of deep lycanthropy, cleansed by the blood of Christ, and injected into his fiercest warriors, so we may continue his war against the devil!
And then Alucard comes in being like, that's enough of this bullshit. I think we're about to have a good old bit of bang bang sedation.
I have a question. Of course, my child. It is only natural. Was it you who saved us from the insurrectionists?
Oh, a smart boy if there ever was. Of course you would recognize your father, even in his war form.
Why did you rip Pascal's eye out?
Pascal? Oh, don't pity him. I gave him a gift. He survived an encounter with the most ferocious beast in the world. That, too, will become his legacy. This feat will bolster him and his lineage's resolve for generations to come.
Did you kill the tribe's elder council?
What?
Yeah, this is exactly what I was speculating. Magai is the big bad and the root of all evil in this situation.
These questions. They died as they lived. Against God.
Did you steal Mrs. Mark's child?
Oh, well,
Did you steal all those children?
Sin to misspend empathy as you do. The children had to.
I am not going to start the conversation about the whole for the greater good bullshit because it's as blatant as it could be. Good lord.
To be relocated. To motivate their dullard authorities to let through our expedition without issue. But sharp as you are, you yet seem to miss my true point. The eradication of devilry is all that matters.
Even if it means we must become devilry itself to do so, because it's all metaphorisms and hypocrisy and stuff.
We have inherited the earth.
It's good when we become devils, but not these devils.
And embracing their legacy, we take back the night. And you too will take on this legacy.
I can't. What? I said I can't!
What? Are you defying me?
I thought we came here to save this land from monsters, not become ones ourselves.
That's what I'm saying.
Word. How dare you?
I did not understand, but now I do. This is no legacy worth upholding.
You insolent, godless little... What? Insurrectionist!
Uh-oh.
Mrs. Mark!
Behind us, child!
A note in the margins of the great Fatatu legacy!
Oh.
This is...
So they're not even... So they are literally skinwalkers. I assume, like, as I was piecing things together, I was assuming they were either going to be werewolves or they were deviants of that. So skinwalkers make sense all of a sudden.
I don't even...
I understand why Fatake left this behind.
We've got 2 records left here. This one, Sins of the Father.
Well known. Fatigue.
Mrs. Mark, I'm sorry. I didn't mean
Mark
to...
is not my name. Stop calling me this.
Markupo?
Neither is Markupo. My real name is Waida.
I shouldn't. I shouldn't say it. I shouldn't say it. I shouldn't say it. Why the long face? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. As serious as this is, I cannot hide my stupid dumb fuckery.
Where are we?
We are in a church.
Why do you hide your name?
Not insurrectionists?
We are. But our cause is to fight the supernatural abominations that would invade our land. Such as your family.
What happened to them? How did you survive?
Our wits. The pit they dug served as a perfect trap hole. We managed to unleash the green-nailed one. Its vengeance was fierce. But
so this is also why I'm saying that Daddy Fatigue probably isn't dead. I'm saying that in a later episode, he's going to come back as one of the big bads and one of the orchestrators of this whole thing. Because that's great storytelling, and it would make sense from my storytelling perspective. All my education as a story writer, comic writer, animator, that kind of stuff, it feels like it would play into the story really well. Because you've established a baddie, and you want to bring it in.
We took what your Leopoldite guards brought. Ironic. To claim to be a wolf of God, yet still be killed by God's silver.
Will you kill me next?
You have committed grave sins against the Philippines and their people. The reason you invaded, the reason you disturbed the mountain, the reason you killed so many, the reason you took our children, was to turn you into yet another monster. You were their legacy.
I never wanted to be. I wanted to learn. I wanted to help. I wanted an adventure.
Of course, sir. And your childish wants cost us greatly.
I understand.
But that is just it. You are a child. And children are all our future. And much as they stole our future from us, we shall steal theirs in turn.
What of your child?
We found her. She is alive.
Thank God.
The rest we found have been returned to their family. Those left without family, we have taken in. But all these children, their legacy too is set. My daughter will never know a normal life, as much as I wished it for her. And neither will you.
What must I do?
Ever cleaned the bathroom floor, sir? Have you?
I haven't. I haven't.
You'll be down on your hands and knees, scrubbing, scraping, and scrubbing every corner, every gap, every tile until the very skin on your fingers comes off. Comes off like the filth and sins of your forefathers.
How? How can I ever possibly make up for such things?
The same way you'll clean that bathroom floor. One tile at a time.
Yes. Thank you.
God, the OST in this is so like fitting.
Take our new son away.
They know how to play your freaking heartstrings, dude. Jesus criminy.
That I was not quite expecting.
They managed to do it. With Silver, they beat back those creatures. I mean, there was hope.
Isn't that eerily similar to this monologue that Fatigue gave to Spit, I think? You know when Fatigue came over and like tried picking up Spit and taking him to the bathroom? That's the same spiel he gave him, right? Oh my god, I remembered a plot beat.
There must always be hope. There is a single record left. Legacy. In case there is anything else we can learn.
Penis.
God damn it, Fatigue! You coddled old fart! And that's how you turn the mood on its head. In story writing, when you've got a comedy, you gotta play the rules of transience. You start off with humor, which is what they did. They took it to a serious level, and then they brought it back to humor right at the end. That is storytelling in beauty at its finest.
Penis, cock, balls. Oh, good times. Now, with that bit of levity out of the way, Arkham, my lad, this is all likely a lot to take in. I indeed became part of the Nails of Christ Hunter organization after all this was concluded. Your granddad was rescued and returned to the Arcanum colony by a lance of Leopoldites sent by his brother. The Leopoldites were obliged to save him, as you know. Odd, and maybe a bit illegal.
Crimson, it's Hunter the parenting.
But he would have died if it weren't for that bloody contract. The Treaty of Liège had Pascal well covered. As the only other survivor, Pascal, of course, thought I, too, was dead. As serendipity would have it, I had managed to finish my tenure with the Nails of Christ after 20 years. Mere months before the Japanese invaded the Philippines that year.
Oh, shit.
For 2 months, I agonized over my return to England, only to find Yarmouth torn apart in the Blitz. I was surprised to find not only the chapter house, but also Pascal, still standing there. He was shocked.
And Crimson, if you want to check this out, I've reacted to pretty much every single episode, so you can see my reaction to all of it.
To say the least.
As goofy as it may be.
Yet still, he welcomed me back to England, to the great Yarmouth chapter house, with open arms. By then, he was Chancellor, could silence anyone's nosy questions on behalf of our long-standing friendship. And from there, I used the accursed knowledge my family had wrought. I tried to put it to better use in our little chapter house's halls. Let me say this though, lad. Arkham, what you have tried to turn the chapter house into, it is a small revolution unto itself. My love and respect goes to you for your attempts to improve upon the legacy left to you by your granddad. But even so, I've had to look out for my own legacy. Arkham, I have embezzled and moved Arcanum funds, data, and even artifacts without your knowledge. I have used the Great Yarmouth Chapter House to funnel these items into the hands of decentralized hunter organizations in Southeast Asia.
Oh, shit.
I have been doing so for the last 50 years.
What?
I do not ask for your forgiveness. I regret nothing. This has been my penance. Those children my father orphaned, I made sure to give them as much as I could give. A few are still alive, and in the years since, I have been glad to know them as my real family. Marta became the only real mother I ever had, and her legacy is what I have snuck into the venal halls of the Arcanum. A noble heritage that made me who I am, and one I presumptively suspect has passed on to you as well, even if you haven't quite known it. And I now tell this to you because...
I can't believe this record started with a crotchety old man shouting penis down the microphone.
I think you would be the only one
Hey, random guy.
to not reject this legacy, even after learning this new partake family secret. I do love Remold. I believe there is good in him, but his inheritance is a whole...
I can almost picture it, right? It's a bit like that Lord of the Rings moment where, sorry, no, Harry Potter even, where you know that part where they're talking about the Deathly Hallows and they got the story of death? I can imagine when the werewolf came for him, he almost welcomed it with open arms. Like he knew it was going to happen. Like it was the inevitability of his past catching up with him almost. Which really puts the last couple of episodes into a really big perspective. Like, for as little as has happened physically in this episode, it's put into perspective a lot that came before.
Haunting shadow of what was once my own. And I know you Blacklaws have a contract with the devil already. But I advise you now, do not continue to serve the interests of the Coalition.
The Coalition?
Do not give them your time nor your resources, especially insofar as it further emboldens the private interest what turns its wretched gears.
I wonder if that private interest is the faction that Guy Chapman and Kevin ran into.
You'll consume us, lad. Just as it consumes any interest for security they might claim their workers for. I see the pale, ghostly shadow of my father's legacy. An empty sleeve pointing at us with a long, dagger-like finger. And now, my boy, this is the sad truth, as I understand it at least. The power they wield to further this sick want for growth beyond any reason is provided for them by ancient horrors beyond reckoning.
Okay, someone who might know this offhand, I wonder if all of this is based off of a campaign they actually played in WOD. Because I feel like they would have to have... Like, they've obviously played this as an actual thing at some point, but I wonder how much of that experience with WOD plays into this narrative. Whether it's thematics or just narrative.
Something what deceives the hearts and souls of men, where faith and work and need all in its finality merely contribute to the world's decay. There is nothing in any you have that could truly explain the force of entropy we contend with. It is a thing even the werewolves, the Garou fear and war against even now. Oh, I've seen it, lad. Stared it in the face. It's...
Wait a minute, let me abide by werewolf philosophy. There we go. No, I'm a furry. The werewolves will never want to deal with me like this.
You're a good lad. I trust
Wait,
you
title
to
drop?
right by us. Goodbye.
What did he say? Wait.
You're a good lad. I trust you'll do right by us. Goodbye, my friend.
A werewolf of the apocalypse! Oh, you're right!
Fatigue.
That's a lot. I might have more questions than answers, actually.
That's what I said at the beginning.
The Coalition. I told Occam myself not to get involved. They're more trouble than they'll ever...
Like, when you start watching Hunt for the Parenting, you set yourself up for a goofy, like, WOD-themed, WOA-themed nonsense. And as this continued, it's delved into a rabbit hole of conspiracy and subversion and sedition and... Oh my god, I'm using way more of my brain watching this than I ever thought I would. And I'm totally here for it. Like, so many of the characters are deep and compelling, and there's character growth even throughout the episodes. And seeing the different winding paths of plot points and the different parallels of the universes and everything. I love this. I said this in one of the previous episodes. These are the same people who made Empress Text-to-Speech. But this is infinitely more compelling than Empress Text-to-Speech in almost every way. Like, I can see everything they've learned from their Empress Text-to-Speech series playing out in this, but it's like a level up from that. And I love it. They've handled it with such tact and care, thinking about the plot points, doing the research on what they're actually talking about, and holy crap, dude. The fact that this series doesn't get more attention is a tragedy, honestly.
So, does that mean Matilda was here for such a long time because the Arcanum worked with this coalition? Specifically because the coalition contains, like, the Gargos, guys?
These modern corporations and the labyrinthine bureaucracy betray me yet again! I can't believe I have to stop eating canned food!
Why are corporations getting in on hunting supernatural?
Oh, the grease balls again.
What's with that stuff about ancient horrors?
And poor Marcus is now in the middle of this vile conflict! The wolves! Stupid idiots! They do wage a war for the survival of the planet's very soul. But to polite society, they mostly look like trouble for the bottom line, see? And, well, son-in-law, as you know...
What do I know?
It is quite common for powerful vampires to put ghouls inside of stupid, awful institutions like the ones that make up the Coalition. They then direct these, their own little piece of the Second Inquisition, towards rival vampire groups in their own territories.
So, firms who have their stocks tanked by wolves are joining the Coalition for much of the same reason.
No worries, Michael. Have a good one.
Fucking hell! But
The
wait,
penny drops.
that ought to mean the aid we might get from the
I
Coalition...
am so glad we decided to watch this episode. I cannot imagine how out of our depth we would be if we skipped this and then got into 6.0, being like, what do they mean, Fatigue's legacy? What do you mean they're skinwalkers? What's all this about the werewolf? Yeah, no, this needed to be watched. This has more plot relevancy and pertinence to what's gonna happen and has happened than almost any of the other episodes.
could be quite substantial, yeah? They could be easily manipulated. The orgs that make up the Coalition are primarily interested in hunting vampires. But when you can't even tell the difference between a humanimal-type vampire and a werewolf, any supernatural becomes fair game by necessity, yeah?
Including gnome!
Everything is a blank body to them. And if they want these freaks gone, they're gonna need to deploy the big guns!
It may well be, son-in-law. But keep what Fatigue just told you in the back of your mind. The malign spirits lingering all around us. That ancient evil that would consume us all. We would fight on its side to save Marcus.
Sir, if that is what the werewolves war against, and this thing is in control of private corporations as large as Granddad's foodstuffs, what does that mean?
There are forces out there that
it means we're in for a whole batch of new seasons.
And her children. Bring forth an apocalypse. And surely there are many complex facets that would lend themselves to this end of ends. I figure there's some fundamental spiritual rot brought forth by reckless greed, dogmatism, environmental destruction, plasma televisions, and golf. And that's the problem, damn it! Fighting this is genuine.
Yeah, golf has always been the big bad. Big golf propaganda wants you to think potting balls into holes is just a merry activity to take part in to reduce stress. No, golf actually stands for globally obscured levity fiasco. Yeah, we all knew it. It's the penny drops. It's all been a it's all propaganda. It's all conspiracy. Golf was the dividing conspiracy behind everything. Oh, you think the air you breathe is air? No. Big Golf wants you to inhale the fumes of golf antics, and they want you to levy in the ways of their world, to fall into dismay and depravity, knowing full well that the very rock beneath your feet is permeated with the blood of wolves and the antiquities of death and decay. Never trust Golf! Anyway.
Noble! That is why I do not fuck with werewolves! But then they come along, kill someone who advocates for them, and steal my son!
What a fucking nightmare.
Oh, damn, this has been such a good episode. It is almost over, though. It is almost over. This might be the longest video we've uploaded to my YouTube, actually.
Very evil.
Well, obviously. But that can't matter right now. I'd team up with bloody chronic fatigue if it meant saving Marcus.
I mean,
I still think chronic fatigue is alive. I do.
I can't say
I think he's going to come back into this.
Not after everything we learned today. But Marcus means more than the world to me.
That's so gay.
I will tear open hell if it means I get him.
So is this Kitten's Doomslayer arc starting? Becomes a Doomslayer for the power of love?
Back.
We are all poorer today. From the dogmatic to the colonial to the corporate crusade. They're like heads of a hydra, and whether indirectly or no, we all here have suffered tremendously at the calamity in its wake. We know in our blood it is evil. But now, we have to join in another crusade.
Not the Sabaton music.
Another head.
Can't we cut ourselves off after?
We can try.
I guess I'm not eager to team up with the forces of evil.
This morning, I woke up thinking I was a maid, and now apparently I'm a crusader. Am I going to get paid more for this?
But that doesn't mean that I won't help you guys.
A wise, kind decision, Miss Bergamot.
But fuck if these lichens aren't the biggest idiots on the face of the planet.
That is all I hear. For every wolf who exclusively puts an end to entropy-worshipping oil barons, chicken racing their oil takers off the coast of Madagascar, there's also that neo-pagan theocrat cleaning out a wage slave warehouse in a town called Dinkle because they happen to work under demon-infested management. And
That
that's
sounds
what
very
happened
specific.
tonight. They fail to build their own coalitions. They fail to make distinctions. They fail to understand. And through this failure, proud wolves become thoughtless, rabid hounds. I have no qualms putting down these straggling Norfolk dogs, leashed as they are to their self-made apocalypse.
Oh, title drop.
Representatives are here. Meet us downstairs.
I hear you.
The coalition.
Well then, this is how it has to go, I think. Let us go and meet our ally.
In 6.0, we're going to see Mr. Fake Teeth and Purple Debonair. I have a sneaking suspicion of. And I think that's it. Oh, my dog. There's something at the end. There's always something at the end. We come this far, might as well see it.
Welcome, everybody. It's your boy fucking Carl the Deranged here again, coming at you live from sunny Onyxor City. So, a little bit of catch up on what I've been doing today. Well, I'm about to be evicted.
Fucking hate it so much. Alright, so the next thing we're going to be watching is 5.3. We'll be doing that in the near future. Guys, this has been a whole ass thing. I don't know what form this is going to get edited into. I can only hope you enjoyed my enjoyment of this. I didn't have much to say because there was just so much for them to say, and I didn't want to interrupt too much with my inane prattling, even though I did. But that's beside the point. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I am really glad that you guys have been enjoying this so much with my reactionary stuff. But guys, thank you for being here. Make sure you like and subscribe. Go and support Brother Alf Booster and all that kind of good stuff. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.